started toward your fitness goals because this summer is yours. Even better, we're waiving enrollment fees and taking $18 off a month for you to start now. But it won't last long. This offer expires at the end of the month and it will not be extended. This is your last chance to get the lowest rates of the year with no enrollment fee. Hurry, just 6 days left. This summer is for you. The benefits of regular exercise are endless. Look better, feel better, have more energy. Are you worth it? Yes. We only get one body. Nothing is more important than our health. The lowest race of the year with no enrollment fee. 6 days left. Join online at genesishealthclubs.com before the lowest race of the year are gone forever. Hurry, just 6 days left. Act today. This offer will not be extended.
Have you wanted to speak a new language but thought it'd be too difficult or take too much time? Then try Babbel. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel teaches you conversations that you will actually use. With 14 languages and lesson topics like travel, business, relationships, and more, you'll learn what matters most to you. Babbel. Language for life. Learn a new language with ease. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com.
This edition of Unsportsmanlike Conduct on 1620 The Zone is proudly presented by Union Bank and Trust. The program starts now.
KOZN. Unsportsmanlike Conduct on 1620 The Zone. Husker Athletics, Creighton, and yes, UNO. Don't miss a moment, they'll give you your fix. They're on every day from 2 until 6. Spend your afternoons with John, Josh, and Nick. John, Josh, and Nick. They'll show you what sports talk really is.
One Beer Friday, and we've got the movie club returning. Predictions is back, folks, and a whole slew of great guests.
Basketball, more basketball tonight. Spring ball.
Unsportsmanlike Conduct on 1620 The Zone. Husker Athletics, Creighton, and yes, UNO.
And we are reviewing Pulp Fiction in today's movie club. And I did not realize this. I don't even know how I stumbled on it. Oh, I know. Every time I open my browser, it goes to like a homepage.
Pornhub.
No, it's like one of those, catch-all,
Google, Bing.
Sort of.
Is that Bing?
I think it's Bing.
Are you a Bing guy?
Is it ask.com?
Well, it's because of the browser I use, but it's just got all the variety of different little stories and things in it. Rotates through. Basically. Just a lot of nuggets. I had no idea the Oscars were this weekend.
Yes, they are. They are indeed.
So I'm sure when Kent joins us, and by the way, we are kind of shifting some things around.
Yes, we are.
Because Kent is in a high-level meeting during the regular movie club.
High-level meeting.
Yep.
Wow, fancy.
Top men.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, so he's in the 5 o'clock hour.
Yeah, so he'll join us in the 5 o'clock hour. Mitch Sherman will join us from The Athletic at 2:45 this hour.
Nice.
Chris Basnett, his usual spot at 3:30, and we'll have a whole bunch of stuff in between.
Nice.
I mentioned predictions is back. We haven't done predictions in 3 weeks.
It's been a long time.
But it's been
a long time.
3 weeks.
And
since you picked that game.
So we haven't done that.
This is going to be the first time we talk to Chris with all of us here in a
long time. Yeah, it's been a
3 weeks.
A wild,
3 weeks.
wacky period.
It's been a little
zany,
strange.
some would say.
It's been a little bit strange.
Yep.
That's your Roof Freeze lineup, by the way, powered by John Higgins Weather Guard.
Roof Freeze. Nice.
And, of course, you're always welcome to join us at 402-951-1620. There's also the JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed at USC1620 and the Equitable Bank inbox. John at 1620thezone.com. Josh at 1620thezone.com. No, Jordan, I am not using Internet Explorer.
I was going to say, Jordan asking if your homepage is Bing. You can change your homepage if you'd like.
I can. I mean,
you're a big Bing
it's
guy.
actually AOL.
Oh, wow.
It's actually fine. It doesn't bother me.
Okay.
Yahoo search is his default.
I don't think I've ever used Bing before. I don't even know what it looks like.
Bing is cool because to get people to use it, you get points that you can use to redeem some like gift cards and stuff with.
Okay, now I'm kind of actually intrigued by this.
That's the only thing it was really good for.
I like gift cards. I like gift cards.
It takes a lot though.
I actually have two different browsers because I have two different things open at the same time.
Me too.
I have my usual stuff on the
Chrome, Firefox,
Chrome or whatever.
Yeah. And then do you have the
And then the
StreamYard on the other one?
Firefox is on the StreamYard.
Same. That's how I do it too, so I don't accidentally close it.
Right.
Like I used
so
to.
they're on different ones so that I can monitor both
Yeah.
separately, and it's
Nice.
easier just to click back and forth.
Perfect.
Back and forth. So that's how I roll.
That's a Friday show, friends.
It's kind of weird how people. I get it. I mean, we're all loyal to our brands. We like our certain brands.
Yeah. What do you think about Ford?
It's a 4-letter F word.
There you go.
You know, Josh like his Apple crap. I like good products.
Apple crap.
Apple crap.
Remember I used to pour water and coffee into this thing and it was fine? That
Yeah,
was the
you
old-
never poured water. You accidentally just like put a drop in there.
Drop! No! It spills all over the place.
And then after I could hear the, screams of Apple Boy from the great beyond saying,
Steve Jobs?
You're trying to kill me.
Steve
Apple
Jobs.
Boy.
I've thought about picking his movie for the movie club.
The Ashton Kutcher one?
No.
Oh.
The other one.
Okay.
Well, yes, we are all very we
Well,
like our thing.
I'm not like super duper
brand boy with the
with the web browsers.
I am. I like
never
Chrome.
understand. I never understand why people get that wrapped up. Oh, it's got to be Chrome, or it's got to be Firefox, or it's got to be Explorer, it's got to be this, it's got to be that. I mean, they all work basically the same. They all have different, mechanisms and functionalities.
Yeah.
But
it's just kind of what you got into at one point in life. You
Sure.
probably just never go back. I've been using Chrome for over a decade. Probably never changed. Kind of how it is.
I think I was using Chrome at one point, but then there was something. There was some kind of program I had to use at the time that didn't have a great interface with Chrome. So I had to change because it was something for work. I don't even remember what it was. It's been so long ago.
Chrome is good, but it eats your RAM real bad.
Oh,
no one eats the Rams. We're the champs.
Damn it.
You and Arnold Darnold.
Arnold Darnold.
We are the champions of the world.
Indeed.
Sound just like Freddie Mercury.
We are. Well, yeah, it does sound just like Freddie Mercury. It really does.
You know who won't be the champs though this year, John?
The Cowboys.
Well, no, shut up, Nick.
McLaren. See,
No.
I can get me too.
Gonzaga. Yeah. And that's a tease for the next segment.
It's all over for Gonzaga.
John put out a poll question.
I did. I put out a poll question today. And surprisingly, there's a lot more people with takes on this than I thought.
I'm not surprised. Gonzaga, I think, has become a program that is surprisingly divisive. I think people really
for
like
a program that has never won at all.
I think that there are people, and I would consider myself among this group. I really like Gonzaga. I really want them to win a national championship. I think it'd be a really cool story, and I've always liked watching them. I think a lot of people like me, and then there are people that just despise them. And they love nights like last night where they get out physical, outplayed, and they lose early.
Right.
They've become a very divisive program.
I mean, I've got theories as to why people dislike them. And we can get into that coming up. But actually, Gonzaga bowing out of the way, just makes that door go wide open. And in walking through, kind of hunched over in his blue little pullover with those beady dark eyes.
I know, man. It's getting disgusting out
Is
there.
Coach K.
I don't like this. I don't like this at all.
I feel weird. I haven't rooted,
No,
I haven't,
don't do it.
I haven't cheered for Duke since they beat UNLV
Don't
in the
do
early
it.
90s.
Come on, man. Don't do it.
But I like the story, man.
What story? The guy who's won a bunch can maybe win one more?
No, not that. It's the idea
that everybody hates him now?
Every game can be his last.
Oh,
you know?
bummer.
There's something about it. It's just like, man, this is kind of interesting.
I mean, it is.
And when you watch how Duke has closed out the last two games,
they have done a very good job. Very good job.
it's now that said, just a couple 3 weeks ago, I was,
we were howling after they lost to
I was
UNC.
chuckling after North Carolina
Wax dead ass.
just whooped them up at home.
Oh, that was great.
North Carolina once again being ignorant of history.
Nice.
Those of you who understand what North Carolina has been in trouble for in the past would appreciate that joke.
Many things.
But Yeah, just walking in there and saying, history schmistery.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to ruin your little party,
Mm-hmm.
your little Blue Devil party.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll have that. Got a lot more. Got spring football, as you mentioned, a whole lot. So please stick around. It's One Beer Friday. You don't want to miss a One Beer Friday. And it's so bright outside, you got to have shades.
Oh, this is great.
It's so bright, you got to have shades.
Mm-hmm.
Right here on Unsportsmanlike Conduct and 1620 The Zone.
Hey, everyone. Josh and John for our friends at the FanDuel Sportsbook. You know, speaking of that game last night, whether it was Gonzaga falling to Arkansas, whether it was Duke coming back and winning late, we put together, I did at least, a 4-teamer at the end of the show, and I had a couple of those parlays lose. John, he had a 4-teamer. He only had one go against him, and that is why he needs parlay insurance on the FanDuel Sportsbook. Right now, all customers get up to $25 back each and every day if your parlay of 3 legs or more falls 1 leg short. And so on a night, John, like tonight, when you got 4 games, so fun to put together one of those parlays with parlay insurance. All of the friends of the program get $25 back, even if they lose, as long as it's just 1 leg.
Like, for example, right now, I just put in a parlay for Providence +7, UCLA -2.5, and Iowa State +3. Pays $584. Woo! Plus $584. That's almost 6-1 odds, which is really good return. But if one of those falls by the wayside, I'm hosed, but not with the FanDuel Sportsbook app. If you're new to FanDuel, just sign up. Use the promo code 1620, and you can bet the tournament all bracket long. But use that promo code. You can also take advantage of the parlay insurance. Get up to $25 back if your parlay of 3 legs or more falls just 1 leg short. Again, promo code 1620 on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. 21 plus and present in Iowa. Exactly 1 leg loses. Refund issued as non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 7 days. NCAA tournament sportsbook wager required. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Hey, bringing you all the madness.
I'm out of my gourd!
1620 The Zone.
Experience the difference at Woodhouse Buick GMC. Discover the all-new 2022 GMC Terrain. With 3 distinct trim lines to choose from, there's a Terrain for any driver. Plus, safety and capability come standard in the Terrain lineup, so you can conquer the road with confidence. Shop our indoor showroom or purchase online at WoodhouseBuickGMC.com. Woodhouse Buick GMC. We are professional grade.
You've got a hungry mob? Well, I've got an offer you can't refuse. Get a large one-topping pizza for only $14 when you buy 2. That's right, all the favorites. Beef, sausage, ham, or pepperoni. Just 2 for $28. You like veggies? You can do that too. Mushrooms, onions, green peppers, pick your favorite. Just 2 for $28. But I'm only offering it for a limited time. So what are you waiting for? Godfather's Pizza. Do it.
Do you want the best for your car? Then fill up with premium at Circle K. Circle K Premium is our best fuel with double the cleaning detergent, protecting your engine from corrosion and damage so it can work at its best. And that, my friend, increases your mileage for more cha-ching in your pocket. Plus, when you fill up with premium at Circle K, you can save up to 20 cents per gallon. Offer valid Thursdays or Fridays at participating stores. For details, visit CircleK.com. Circle K. How convenient.
I struggled with symptoms like frequent gas and stomach pain for years.
I was bloated all the time with daily diarrhea.
At first, I thought it was what I was eating.
I kept thinking it was stomach issues.
So I did my research and talked to my doctor, and we finally uncovered the truth.
It was actually EPI. Exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, is a condition where your pancreas is unable to help break down your food.
It can lead to symptoms like diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools.
And EPI symptoms can be confused with those of other common digestive conditions, like irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's, and celiac disease.
So getting to the right diagnosis meant being more open with my doctor about the severity of my symptoms and how often they were happening.
But there's good news. EPI is manageable, so don't wait any longer. Use the symptom checker at identifyepi.com and schedule a visit or call with your doctor to ask, could I have EPI?
Sponsored by AbbVie.
Are you or someone you know in the construction industry? Have you hit a dead end? Or do you need a new opportunity? You work hard. You want to be treated fairly and paid well. Well, maybe it's time you join a premier, high-quality Omaha construction firm. Prairie Construction of Omaha has 2 sought-after positions available, Field Superintendent and Project Manager. Prairie Construction might be just right for you. Learn more about us at our website, prairie-construction.com.
Rebuild or reload.
Nemhard sprints into the front court, lobs it up, and it goes in!
Settle or soar.
And Alex O'Connell forces a second overtime.
Fold or fight.
Here's Trey, a run to the rim, goes in, and won!
The future arrived.
Harper!
The Creighton Blue Jays
Have never quit on you!
let it fly.
Jays win! Jays win! Jays win!
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
This is Unsportsmanlike Conduct on 1620 The Zone.
John and Josh with Nick on a One Beer Friday. And again, don't forget, we've got coverage of the men's NCAA tournament tonight here on 1620 The Zone and the Creighton women tonight against Iowa State. We have both games from the Greensboro Regional over on 1180 The Zone, 1180 a.m. So if you can't see the game tonight, I believe it's on ESPN2. You can listen to Westwood One's coverage of Creighton women's basketball tonight as they make their historic first ever appearance in the Women's Sweet 16. Last night, Gonzaga goes down to defeat. And you know, honestly, I sometimes when I tweet, I just tweet because it's just a thought in my head. I don't intend for it to turn into a discussion. Realizing that, of course, anything on Twitter can turn into a discussion. I could literally go out and just tweet out random symbols and stuff, and it would probably.
I would be like, "Is John okay?"
Would probably turn into a discussion.
What does it mean?
Yeah.
So last night, Gonzaga lost, and I just tweeted out, "Is Gonzaga ever going to win at all?"
Or like Gonzaga.
Damn it!
And
My bracket's ruined.
instantly, I mean, people were like, "Nope, not going to happen. Never." Bob says, "West Coast soft." Iowa JD says, "Not until they play in a real conference. Their conference does nothing for them." Others, you know, Kirksus Maximus says, as Dana Altman says, nope.
No.
I think the interesting one is, you know,
The
and
idea
it's a
that they
popular
need to-
theory that they're not in a strong enough conference and it holds them back.
See, I don't think that that's the case, though, because they play a really tough non-conference schedule.
They do.
Their brand now has extended so far beyond that league. Just go look at it the last few years. Look at the teams that they get to play in the non-conference. And I get that by the time the non-con finishes and then they go in the West Coast, you know, swing, and then they finish up the conference tournament, and then they get in the NCAAs. It's been a few months. But
been a couple months.
They play some tough-ass teams in the non-conference. And, I mean, their league ebbs and flows. St. Mary's kind of goes up and down, up and down. I don't think that that's what it is. I don't think that. Look, I think we so often celebrate the randomness of the NCAA tournament, you know, and I think that can be said here. They're so often they make a run to the second weekend every year now. Basically, they're always in the second weekend.
Always in the second weekend.
2 times in the last 5 tournaments or four tournaments since it's, you know, one was canceled. They made it to the championship game. You know, they're so close to breaking through. It just shows, you know, how difficult it can be to win those, you know, 6 games in a row. I don't think it's about the conference, you know. I mean, I think there's a discussion we had about failing, quote unquote, on the big stage. But I don't.
Well,
think it's
yeah,
a
I mean,
league.
if we're going to use the argument that it's about the conference and they don't win, then doesn't that make the Big Ten look even worse?
Yeah, it's a great point. Great point.
And I don't think that's the case. I think we can agree. Yeah, the Big Ten's probably overrated a little bit based on. You know, the hype that they get and the number of teams they get in and the fact that they can't get all the way. But I can understand some of the logic behind the argument because we're conditioned to believe, and Gonzaga, let's face it, They're one of the original Cinderellas that have pushed through, and they have continued to push through.
Yes.
And so now they're always in the conversation.
What they have done is so unique in the sport. So unique.
When they burst through the first couple of times, it was, similar to, the George Masons of the.
I was happy you said them. Yeah.
The VCUs, the
they just keep doing it.
But then they kept doing it and doing it. Now they are expected to the point where they are considered a major basketball program, and they should be.
Yep.
Because they're always highly seeded. They always get to the second weekend, and more often than not, or at least often enough, they've been getting to the Final Four.
I think the thing that is fascinating about them is, so if I remember, I don't have their seasons up in front of me. They made the Elite Eight in their first time breaking through.
Yes.
And then the following 2 years, they made the Sweet 16. So they made it to the second weekend 3 years in a row, or 3 years in a short amount of time. Then they kind of had a bit of a lull, but they were still kind of recruiting the same types of players, the same types of athletes. What has really changed lately is they're getting these one-and-done guys that are going on to the pros. We had Ravi on yesterday. We were talking about Chet. And this is a very unique prospect, and kind of what he is and what he could be, I guess, at the next level. But they had a top 3 or 4 pick last year as well. Adam Morrison. Now, he was more of a developmental story, but he was a lottery pick, over a decade and a half ago now. So that's, I think, where they have become very unique is, you mentioned VC, you mentioned George Mason. Those were fun, great, exciting stories. But, Gonzaga, of course, has transcended that. And then they have gone up a level by starting to bring in better and better and better players.
Well, not only have they been in the second weekend in 7 straight tournaments, they've been a number 1 seed 4 times in the last 5 tournaments.
Yeah.
And 5 times in the last 8 tournaments.
Yeah.
They haven't not been to the second weekend since 2014.
Yeah, see, that's the part that's nuts. So think about that. That's the last time Nebraska made the tournament.
Yeah.
And they've made it to the second weekend every time.
They've been in the second weekend every time.
Jed says, using Gonzaga's weak conference as an excuse is lazy. They have a top 20 strength of schedule, and everyone thinks the Big Ten is tough, but they struggle every year. It's not a strength of conference with Gonzaga. Now, here's something interesting, too. Adam points out that one of their guys behind the scenes, Tommy Lloyd, a big reason for their recruiting uptick, he is now at Arizona. And so that will be something to keep an eye on, moving forward, is can they continue to bring in, these types of prospects? How much of that is few in the program versus how much of it was a great program, but that they had maybe a really good recruiter as well?
More on the tournament later on, but coming up next, we're going to talk with Mitch Sherman of The Athletic, as he wrote a story about a person who's probably going to be the most talked about Nebraska high school athlete in this year's recruiting class, and his chances of going to Nebraska are pretty slim.
Mm-hmm.
We're, of course, talking about Zane Flores of Gretna. He did a story on him today. More on that and his observations from spring ball. We can get into some of those as well coming up next with Mitch Sherman of The Athletic right here on 1620 The Zone. John here for Brookside Medical Clinic. ED meds are very effective, and they have been a godsend. Kind of discovered by accident, if you will. And while we've now gone almost 20 years into the ED medicine era, we still are trying to find permanent ways to make ED something of the past, where you don't have to depend on the little blue pill. Well, the advanced wave technology at Brookside Medical Clinic might just be the breakthrough we've been waiting for. It's been shown by Cambridge University and the Cleveland Clinic to restore and regrow blood vessels. That helps improve blood flow and restore normal ED function. Gets rid of ED, or normal erectile function can return. And it's non-invasive. It's non-surgical. And right now, when you call Brookside at 402-671-7777, you can get the free consultation and blood flow ultrasound. That's right, free. And then they can get you back to your normal function again. Try it out. Give them a call. Stop relying on the pill. 402-671-7777. Brookside Medical Clinic. 402-671-7777.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
Email Sharp Embedding on the Equitable Bank inbox with whatever's on your mind. The Zone inbox is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. You can get me at Gary at 1620thezone.com. We want to hear from you on the Equitable Bank Zone inbox.
Shop Lanahaw Nurseries for all your mulch needs. Best quality mulch at the best price. You'll notice our prices are lower than anybody else's. That's because you're buying your mulch straight from where it's made. Convenient delivery or pickup. Lanahaw Nurseries, 192nd and Center.
Guys, let's face it, there is a time when you just need to get out of the house, to have your own place, to be with the guys, or just a quiet, relaxing place for yourself. Well, Hearth Cigars and Pipes Lounge hears you loud and clear. Settle in. Escape to Hearth Cigars and Pipes Lounge for an incredible selection, plus premium cocktails, a knowledgeable, friendly staff, state-of-the-art humidor, and incredible lounge. Hearth Cigars and Pipes Lounge, just off I-680 at 48th Street, next to Covey's.
Hey everyone, Josh Peterson here for my friends at Kugler Vision. Did you know that Kugler Vision is the only provider in our area that specializes in all 7 FDA-approved vision correction procedures? Schedule your consultation online today at KuglerVision.com.
Finally venturing out? Stop by Cops Pizza, 72nd and Jones or the Shadow Lake Town Center to grab a bite, have a beverage, and watch the game. Cops Pizza makes delicious pizza, fresh salads, and tasty charred wings with a variety of homemade sauces. They even offer keto crusts. Or try a cream cheese pizza sauce. Dine in, carry out, or delivery. Cops Pizza, 72nd and Jones, and the Shadow Lake Town Center. Or click copspizza.com to see their extensive Shadow Lake menu, pizza, and so much more.
When I need a new furnace or AC, I choose a company that provides solutions that meet my needs and budget.
When my furnace or AC needs repairs, I call a company with reliable technicians, not commissioned salespeople.
When I need a straight answer, I choose a company that is honest and has integrity.
At Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, we provide the best solutions for your needs and budget. It's just part of
the way we do the things we do.
Carrier, turn to the experts.
If there's one thing that you can count on every spring, it's that we're going to have to deal with some hail. J-Tech Construction is the company to call to make it right again. J-Tech Construction specializes in siding, roofing, windows, and gutters, even solar. They're trained for insurance claims assistance, and they can help with your insurance company. Turn to the team the Huskers turn to, J-Tech Construction. Use your favorite search engine to find J-Tech Construction online and schedule a free estimate today.
Do you like to shoot fireworks? Would you like to get paid to shoot fireworks? J&M Displays wants you. Help shoot an Omaha Storm Chasers game, Memorial Park display, or any of the major shows in western Iowa and all of Nebraska. If you like to travel, J&M covers Nebraska, Kansas, and most of Missouri. They offer free training and great daily pay rates, which makes it a perfect part-time job. Visit jnmdisplays.com and click the Join Our Team tab to find out more. J&M Fireworks.
Wanna bet? Las Vegas is miles away. The sportsbook at Ameristar Council Bluffs is much closer. We're your 50-yard line. Behind home plate. Center court ticket. To real-time odds and over-unders. We've got all the action and the best odds in town. So grab the crew and place all your bets on all your favorite teams at the Sportsbook at Ameristar Council Bluffs.
Must be at least 21. Terms subject to change. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF. Sports betting is legal in Iowa and not Nebraska.
Shop Woodhouse Place Hyundai and Nissan, 144th and Giles. KOZN, Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs.
Welcome back, John and Josh, with almost said Stibbs.
Wow.
He's dead.
It's been like 8 months.
It was so natural though off the tongue, John, Josh, and Stibbs. Not it's more about the S and
the N
than the N. Right?
I'm gonna let you deal with this.
I got used to it for a very, very, very long time.
And now he's dead and it doesn't matter.
Wow.
I'm the new.
Killed him.
Nick, you know how it is. It's I guess you don't because you're not a fan of like team sports. But sometimes you know
There's
how many
team
times
sports in Formula One.
How many times are you gonna say like the Cleveland Indians, for example? I mean,
I'm
we still
say
say the San Diego Chargers, and they've been moved for like 7 years.
Yeah.
So it's nothing against you, Nick. It's just get something beat in your head forever.
Right.
That's what happens.
Like when we bring on our next guest. Every time I hear Mitch Sherman, I want to think, well, where's the horse?
Yeah, the amazing horse.
And the horse is amazing.
Yeah.
But I've got to remember that's
those are the old days.
That's an old thing. That's an old bit. That's
This is not Unsportsmanlike with Kevin and Michael.
We've beaten that dead horse.
Yeah, indeed we have. Indeed we have.
I'm sorry, Mitch. We beat your horse dead.
That horse is retired.
Yep. I mean, you have to, and he's out to stud.
Yeah.
He's doing well.
Good.
Which is where all good horses go.
Good.
Mitch, of course, covering Nebraska sports for The Athletic, had a story today about Zane Flores. You know, at the beginning of this calendar year, the offers on this talented young man's plate were very, very thin. Now, all of a sudden, he's got a lot of power conference schools from this area and beyond looking at his services. And you had something in your story, and it's kind of eye-opening, but to consider that Flores is probably going to be the most sought-after quarterback prospect from this state since Eric Crouch. I mean, we're going back 25 years. That's a long time, and that's pretty elite company to be in.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that exact line, that sentence for a while as Zane Flores' profile, the Gretna quarterback, as his profile has risen here over the past 6 weeks, really. He had no offers at the start of the calendar year. And then Bowling Green got things going, and the Power Five started after that. Washington was the latest this week. Zane is at the Elite 11 regional in Dallas to stack up against competition from all over this part of the country, really to the south, more Big 12 area. There's an Oklahoma commit who's the number 40 rated player in the country at that regional on Sunday. So he'll get a chance to see himself in against that competition. And then he's going to Ohio State on an unofficial visit. Does not have an offer from the Buckeyes, but it may come. Just the fact that he's being recruited by Ohio State and is a source of interest of Ryan Day and Corey Dennis, the Ohio State quarterbacks coach, is something that has not happened to a high school quarterback in the state of Nebraska. And, I said Eric Crouch because he won the Heisman, but, back then recruiting was a lot different.
Mm-hmm.
And, Eric was an option quarterback at Millard North. I assume just because of his great athleticism, if this was today, he would have been a 4-star kind of guy. So that's the company that Zane Flores is beginning to be mentioned in.
Mitch, what explains, I guess, the 0 to 60, if you will, of the lack of offers to now where Ohio State is kicking the tires on him in such a short amount of time? How's this happen?
I think some of it is a product of the environment that we live in right now with quarterback recruiting. So much of the roster evaluation and what coaches are looking for to fill out depth at that position has to do with the transfer portal. And the transfer portal didn't exist 5 years ago. Just a year ago, as I mentioned in the story, and I had to triple check this because we've been talking about it for so long. But it was not even a year ago when the one-time exception was granted to allow players to transfer without sitting out the mandatory year. Of course, waivers existed before that, and plenty of guys were eligible immediately. But for it to be everyone, that happened less than a year ago. So there have been big changes in the way that all players are recruited, but especially at quarterback, because you have to be very particular about the numbers at that spot. Schools recruit first out of the portal. We saw it. We've seen it with Nebraska, and we see it around the country. So once the portal is clear, then unless you're a 5-star guy, you probably don't have the kind of interest that those players were accustomed to just a couple of years ago, because the portal is at top of mind for college recruiters. And then when the portal activity starts to shut down into January, you can expect college coaches to start to look to that next class of high school prospects. And that's exactly what happened with Zane Flores about 6 weeks ago.
Mitch Sherman of The Athletic. Has he given any indication, like if he were making the choice and could go anywhere versus waiting for offers to come in, what his dream school would be?
Well, he grew up watching Nebraska, but that ship has sailed at this point. Nebraska has a commit with William Watson, the Mark Whipple favorite from Massachusetts, And I got a lot of questions in reporting this story, and I have heard them even before I started doing that, and then since the story came out this morning, is Nebraska dropping the ball here? Why has Nebraska not offered yet? And it's not a matter of yet. It's they're not going to. If things stay status quo. Now, if a bunch of guys transfer out of Nebraska, or Watson blows up and starts getting offers that make him reconsider his commitment to Nebraska, which I wouldn't expect, well, then anything can change. But I think by that point, Zane is going to be so far down the road, and there isn't really much of a relationship. I don't mean that in a bad way, but there just isn't much of a relationship with Nebraska. Hasn't been since the new offensive coaches came in. He talked some to the old staff, but it didn't progress to the point of an offer. So yeah, that was his school growing up. If you take Nebraska out of the equation, you say if he could go anywhere where he's got an offer, he hasn't got it that far yet. The schools that he's talking to the most right now are Kansas State and Oklahoma State, and he's going to be at Kansas State next week. Been there before. He's going back. And Oklahoma State, I believe he has a trip set up in April after the Ohio State.
Mitch, can Nebraska be forgiven for maybe their lack of, recruiting of Zane Flores because of the timing? You mentioned William Watson, who has had ties to Whipple going back to when he was in 7th grade. And obviously Whipple's the offensive coordinator. So, Frost is giving him some leeway here to, go out and pick the quarterbacks that he thinks are going to work for his system. And you've got the looming potential of Dylan Raiola in 2024. And
Sure.
Just that the timing of everything just doesn't work out to where this is a slam dunk. Nebraska's got to go after it.
Yeah, I don't think the Raiola factor, I don't think that factors into the decision that Nebraska made on Zane Flores. I think it's all about Watson and, all about the depth that Nebraska has at that position right now with 5 guys on scholarship in Lincoln. This is different than if there was a fast rising wide receiver in the Metro, or a linebacker, or a running back. The numbers and the way that you recruit all other positions are different than quarterback. And, in order to get the guy and hold on to the guy that you want in any given class, it's usually a one player per year kind of thing. We've seen that happen a little differently at times, and that can be impacted by transfers. It can be impacted by injuries. It can be impacted by, coaching moves. But right now, with this offensive staff new in town and, searching for some stability and finding a guy that they decided that they wanted in William Watson, it's not a situation where Nebraska is actively recruiting Zane or even the guys who had offers from Nebraska, who technically have offers from Nebraska close to home, like Avery Johnson out of Kansas, or J.J. Cole from Ankeny, Iowa. Those guys couldn't commit right now, I don't believe, if they wanted to, because the Huskers have their guy. So unless something big changes, again, with the roster or with the situation involving their commit, I think it's best for everyone to just focus on what's going to be the best fit for these guys, and what's going to be the best fit for Zane Flores. And he's in the process of working that out.
Yeah, and Mitch, obviously I agree with that latter statement, but one of the things that we have discussed with this is like, even though these two players might not ever meet, they're going to be compared against each other, both in their senior years and in college. Like, can you ever remember a dynamic like this in your time covering Nebraska? And you said something a couple of minutes ago that jumped out to me, and that is recruiting this position is a lot different than other positions just because of the math of the situation.
Yeah, I think it's happened. It's funny in looking at the rankings yesterday, and they change, regularly. And, as the offers come in, guys move up or move down. In the 24/7 composite, Zane Flores and William Watson are right next to each other. It was 33 and 34. I think at the start of the day yesterday, it was 34 and 35, and they both moved up one spot in the afternoon as I was putting this piece together. So, yeah, I mean, for that reason and for lots of reasons, they are going to be compared to each other. But, we don't know who's going to be coaching any team 3-4 years from now. These guys' careers, like all college quarterbacks, or so many college quarterbacks, are probably going to take twists and turns. It would be interesting if it does work out that way, where Watson comes to Nebraska, works his way into the starting role. Flores leaves the state, works his way into a starting role at another place, and then you just see how their success compares, individually and team wise. But somebody could redshirt, somebody could get hurt, somebody could play right away. More likely you end up being compared to somebody in a different class, somebody who transferred. But yeah, I think these kind of situations have happened before, where there are a couple of guys that Nebraska is going after or considering, early in the recruiting process, and they pick one, they focus on one. That guy comes to school, and a lot of fans will often watch and see how the other player does, whether he's local or not, at the school that he picks down the road.
It is going to be an interesting watch, because if he ends up, speaking of Flores, ends up having a good career at a Power 5 school, and Nebraska continues to struggle, even if they get decent quarterback play, but they just don't, they continue to flounder along as they have been. There's going to be so much second guessing about this, which is both fair and unfair. We've kind of described why it's fair, because the timing of it is all wonky, but it's also a little unfair in that you don't want to play revisionist history, similar to what we've been doing with Joe Burrow for the last, several months.
Several years.
Right, and that was the ultimate worst case scenario.
Yes, absolutely.
You don't expect something like that to happen again, where the guy that you choose not to recruit ends up being the Heisman Trophy winner and the number one pick in the draft, and go into a Super Bowl in his second year. That's a once in a lifetime, kind of bad situation, and a great situation for Burrow, and of course, but rough situation for Nebraska to have made that decision. Hey, best of luck to Zane. I hope it's a repeat of Joe Burrow for him. But for Nebraska's sake, I think they're probably safe that he's going to have a little bit different career path. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting for sure, and people are going to watch. And there was a comparison to Joe Burrow in the article today from Riley Gross, the offensive coordinator at Gretna, said that Zane's got some Joe Burrow-like qualities in the way that he is cool and calm and collective, and just keeps a level head through everything that he's been through.
Mitch, I did want to ask you about the current team before we let you go, and I alluded to this yesterday with one of our guests. Like, I think we all went into yesterday's media session expecting something concrete on Thomas Fidone, and then of course the Xavier Betts news was the thing that really made the bigger waves. What did you make though of the lack of anything said definitively about what's going on with Fidone?
They may be waiting. If he's going to need surgery, perhaps they're waiting on some kind of a resolution there. It's hard to know. I was puzzled by it because it's not like the injury happened yesterday or even last week. It was the week before, before Nebraska went on spring break. So, maybe there's more to this than we know, and they're trying to work some things out, and they're uncertain exactly about the severity of it. But it sounded more to me like, Scott Frost has got a lot on his plate, with guys who were banged up, and he's going to wait, until later in the spring, maybe before the spring game or after the spring game, to give a full report on everyone's health.
Mitch Sherman of The Athletic. Check out his latest story on Zane Flores, and certainly it'll be one we'll be watching for the next several years, more than likely. Mitch, have a great weekend. Thanks.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Mitch.
Mitch Sherman joining us on the Unsportsmanlike Conduct Hotline.
Now, you mentioned Joe Burrow towards the end of the interview, and we did get a message early in the interview from Adam. He says Flores is going to be Joe Burrow 2.0 for, and you just watch. I don't know if any of that was sarcasm, but that is like there's now become this worst case scenario situation because of what Joe Burrow turned into, and then now going to a Super Bowl in year 2 where he lost to the Rams. I don't know if you've heard about this, but this is this is unique, man. This is a unique story. Just because, like Nebraska, there's always going to be revisionist history when you miss out on a player, or when you, in this case, maybe don't recruit that player.
Right.
But this, I think where this one maybe veers off into a different direction, at least for me, is that Whipple is kind of the guy in charge on recruiting for at least this 2023 class, going after William Watson, the third in the relationship. So, like, let's just pretend if this is a year ago, and it's that staff, there's probably a bit more criticism on Frost. If I mean, and look, no matter what happens, if Flores turns into a great player, there's going to be criticism on Frost. But I think it's different this time around, given that it's Mark Whipple. That's not to say that they aren't making a mistake. I have no idea. I don't know what he's going to turn into, but I think that is the one kind of difference about this compared to maybe other guys.
Frost definitely did turn over the quarterback recruiting to Whipple.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, the last person that Whipple recruited when he was still at Pitt was Chubba Purdy. And I think if there is a question to be asked, I can't argue with saying, hey, Whipple, you're the offensive coordinator. You tell us what you need, and I'm going to follow your lead. I mean, we wanted to see Frost designate and delegate responsibilities. He's definitely done that in this very important instance.
Yeah.
Quarterback recruiting.
With an in-state player.
I think if there is a question to be asked or something where you could say, I don't know about that decision. I don't know if it was necessary to get two guys out of the portal to play quarterback.
Especially when one of them has 4 years left to play.
Right.
How about Chubb?
Because you basically what you really did was recruited a super senior in high school. Is really what you did.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Who has
high school player who can't redshirt.
Who has a small amount of college experience.
Mm-hmm.
That to me is still a little bit surprising. And the fact that you still have all of the others, waiting behind, including the high school commit that you got from Torres.
Mm-hmm.
You brought him in. So really, you only lost one quarterback.
So far, yeah.
You brought in three.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good
point.
If
there's an area where you could say, now it's also understandable, I admit, based on Nebraska's history with quarterbacks and injuries, that, hey, you got to make sure that room is as deep as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Transfer portal be damned.
Mm-hmm.
So I do understand that. I have more of a question about the Chubba addition than I do about why Flores is not getting enough attention from Nebraska. Because again, William Watson, who is the high school commit for next year's class, he's known Whipple since he was in 7th grade.
Yeah, there's a relationship there.
And there's a relationship there. And what do we always say about recruiting? It's about relationships.
We do indeed. Amazing Daniel says, and I think this is a great point, if the current staff is still here by the time Flores potentially proves them wrong 2, 3, 4 seasons from now, that means that Nebraska is doing really well. So it won't be as big of a deal. It's a good point.
Or at least doing well enough, because there's still a lot of folks who think that
he go 5-7 forever and they'll keep him around.
That this is a 2-year thing. I've said as much. I think this is a 2-year deal.
Yeah.
But I get your point, Daniel, and I'm not going to disagree with you.
Yeah.
And the other thing now, Mitch didn't go as far, but I do think the Dylan Raiola situation, because if Nebraska is doing well after this year, the popular theory is that puts Nebraska very high on Dylan Raiola's list.
Correct. Like he needs like not permission, but he needs proof. He needs proof that like it's not a mistake to come to Nebraska. And the proof is winning.
Listen, I believe one of the reasons, not the only reason, but a reason why Donovan Raiola was hired was because it gets you closer. Dominic.
Yeah.
No,
Dominic.
Donovan.
Man. Wow. I corrected you. I'm the idiot. My bad.
There's a lot of D's in that family.
Sad.
But one of the reasons Donovan Raiola was hired was to bring that relationship closer.
Yeah.
To give Nebraska even more of an advantage. And I'm not saying it's wrong either, friends. Coaches, it happens all the time in other sports where you bring in coaches because they might be able to get you a certain player or two. It just so happens that Donovan Raiola has coached offensive line and has got experience on offensive line coaching. But without the last name and the ties with his experience level, do you think he would have been hired here as the offensive line coach? I don't.
I don't either. Yeah, if his last name's not Raiola.
I don't personally.
Bishop, let's say.
Or Peterson.
Peterson.
Or Peterson?
Yeah, definitely wouldn't hire that guy.
Probably not.
That's a good point.
So that element complicates matters just a little bit because, you know, if you really think you have a legitimate shot at Dylan Raiola, well, you're going to be set at quarterback for a very long time, and there's going to be a lot of people waiting in line going, where's my chance?
And I'll add one more thing,
And one
too.
of those guys would have been Flores.
This is what happens, you know, when you lose is you don't get the benefit of the doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Fair or unfair, this is what happens.
That's true.
Is that every single move is under the microscope. Once again, what makes this one so unique is for the longest time, there was like a lamenting, oh, the staff doesn't, and this is all staffs. This isn't like this staff. Oh, man, the staff recruits Nebraska poorly, or the staff doesn't respect Nebraska prospects. I remember that was a big thing said, of course, under Callahan, big thing said under Bo Pelini at times. They don't go after Nebraska kids. And then, of course, lately, the struggle in the Omaha metro area. That has been a huge story. This staff cannot recruit the Omaha metro area. When you get a player like this that is this highly sought after and you're not even offering him, you know, it's once again, it's just intriguing is what it is because it's such a unique time, I think, in the program's history.
Coming up, more on Spring Ball with Chris Basnet coming up at the bottom of the hour. Don't forget, Movie Club has been moved back to the 5 o'clock hour.
Folks!
Moved E-Club.
We're going to talk about Pulp Fiction with Kent Wogemont, and we'll get some Oscar previews.
John loves the Oscars. He won't shut up about it.
Big Oscar guy.
Listen, we saw in the Movie Club 5 of the 10 movies.
Is this true?
And one of them was my pick.
That's definitely not true.
Yeah, look at the nominations list. I believe we had 5. We had the we had Dune, which I did not get a chance to see, but you guys did review it.
Oh, I forgot that you didn't see. Oh, that's right. We had brought Michael on because you hadn't seen it.
Right.
We saw Don't Look Up,
King Richard,
Nightmare Alley,
Nightmare
Power of the Dog.
and Power of the Dog. We saw 5
Two
of the
my
10.
picks are on there.
And you didn't watch one of them.
We saw 5 of the 10 Best Picture
go
nominees.
us.
Where's Shortwave? That was on there, right?
That was there it is, the nominee for Best Trash Can Comparison. That was bad. I apologize, everybody.
You good?
I'm sorry.
If there was a nomination for best scene of someone treating their body as an amusement park,
that would congrats on the Oscar.
It really lingered
Again,
on that scene.
that's-
You like me. You really like me.
I liked that scene.
Yeah, you were a big fan.
I liked that scene better than I liked the movie.
Yeah, well, it was a bad movie. All right, so we'll talk about the Oscars.
With Kent. That's later.
Yeah.
And it's a 1 beer Friday.
Yeah, one, John.
One.
One beer.
One beer Friday.
One.
Friday.
Just one.
On 1620 The Zone.
Hey everyone, Josh Peterson here for my friends at Kugler Vision, the only provider in our area that specializes in all 7 forms of FDA-approved vision correction procedures. So often, you will hear the commercials, and they will talk about LASIK, which is, of course, one of the options that they have, but they have 6 others as well. So you might think, well, yeah, Josh, what if I don't qualify for LASIK? One of my best friends, in fact, did not qualify for LASIK many, many years ago, but he didn't go to Kugler Vision. He didn't know that there were 6 others that he could have found out if one of those would have worked for his eyes. And I know that he wishes that that were the case. This friend wears contacts, has the annoying glasses that he has to put on at the end of the day, long hours, so the contacts will be in all day long, itchy, scratchy eyes. I feel terrible for this friend, and that's why when I see him tomorrow, in fact, I'm going to remind him, hey, you should give my friends at Kugler Vision a call, 402-558-2211. Head to their website, kuglervision.com. Find out about those 7 vision correction procedures, which one is going to work best for you, and then ditch those contacts, ditch those glasses, and enjoy the spring outdoor weather more than you ever have before. 402-558-2211 or kuglervision.com.
Zone, taste of our takes. Sharp and betting in the morning.
Reach out! Hey. Oh, but Arthur! Kaluma!
My God, how does he not pass out during a game? That's John Bishop. You'll hear him on the call. We're joined by Creighton head basketball coach Greg McDermott. Matt, good morning. Welcome back.
There's a reason John Bishop's on in the afternoon. That's so people don't have to listen to him in the morning.
For more, tune in every day to 1620 a.m. or go to 1620thezone.com. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
A wind advisory and red flag warning in place Friday as northwest winds pick up in the morning, gusting up to 45 miles per hour through the afternoon and evening. We will see plenty of sunshine, though, with highs in the mid-50s. I'm meteorologist Sean Everson from KETV News Watch 7.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct, brought to you by a great friend of the program, Union Bank and Trust.
You've got a hungry mob? Well, I've got an offer you can't refuse. Get a large one-topping pizza for only $14 when you buy two. That's right, all the favorites. Beef, sausage, ham, or pepperoni. Just two for $28. You like veggies? You can do that too. Mushrooms, onions, green peppers, pick your favorite. Just two for $28. But I'm only offering it for a limited time. So what are you waiting for? Godfather's Pizza. Do it.
Experience the difference at Woodhouse Buick GMC. Discover the all-new 2022 GMC Terrain. With 3 distinct trim lines to choose from, there's a Terrain for any driver. Plus, safety and capability come standard in the Terrain lineup, so you can conquer the road with confidence. Shop our indoor showroom or purchase online at WoodhouseBuickGMC.com. Woodhouse Buick GMC. We are professional grade.
Shingles add beauty, protection, and value to your home. You want CertainTeed shingles. Carp's Complete Home Exteriors is a certified CertainTeed shingle master. When it comes to your roof, CertainTeed shingles and Carp's have you covered. Online at carpsomaha.com.
I need 4 more of the biscuit carnitas, 2 burnt end platters, 3...
The kitchen at Kai's Barbecue is firing on all cylinders.
Greg, help me bring these to the pickup counter.
He needs food runners who can hit the ground quickly.
86 on the chicken and we're short-staffed. Let's pick it up.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Businesses all across eastern Nebraska and western Iowa have trusted Host Coffee for their coffee, water, and vending needs. Give your business the whole host of options. Host Coffee, serving you since 72.
Kid Rock. Bad Reputation Tour. Friday, April 8th, CHI Health Center. The American Badass, Kid Rock. With Grand Funk Railroad. And a special appearance by Trey Lewis. On sale now. Get tickets at livenation.com. Kid Rock.
Wanna bet? Las Vegas is miles away. The sportsbook at Ameristar Council Bluffs is much closer. We're your 50-yard line. Behind home plate. Center court ticket. To real-time odds and over-unders. We've got all the action and the best odds in town. So grab the crew and place all your bets on all your favorite teams at the Sportsbook at Ameristar Council Bluffs. Must be at least 21. Terms subject to change. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF. Sports betting is legal in Iowa and not Nebraska.
Dingman's Collision Center. 4 Collision Center locations serving you in Omaha and Papillion.
This is Unsportsmanlike Conduct with John Bishop and Josh Peterson.
It sucks, but it's true.
The 1620, The Zone.
We did ask you a poll question. Should Nebraska be heavily engaged in the recruiting of Gretna quarterback Zane Flores? 50% say at least show interest. 35% say yes, all in. 15% say no, they have their guy. So it's pretty heavily in towards, hey, at least show them some love. But again, I understand it. And
well, the math of it all.
I hate to be on the wrong side of history again.
Yeah, seriously.
But
can't wait for Zane Flores to become the best quarterback of all time. And you're like, I'm happy they didn't recruit him.
I've been consistent on the whole Joe Burrow situation. And I just feel like this is where you are right now. I mean, think about the alternative, right?
That they do recruit him?
The alternative is that because you're not going to get 2 4-year quarterbacks, and you can't afford to be spending all your scholarships on 2 4-year quarterbacks. Imagine if Frost walked in and said, sorry, Whip, we have to go after this guy because he's from here.
First, he would say, Whip, put those shoes on. And then he would say,
right. But if Frost truly is turning over the keys of the offense to his offensive coordinator, he's going to have to trust his judgment.
Mm-hmm.
And there might be some other things maybe they just haven't, seen in him that they don't like. But if you're going to truly turn over the keys to your offense to somebody else, then that person has to make the decision.
I think Daniel said it really well last segment, and I'm going to read that tweet again. If the current staff is still here by the time Flores potentially proves them wrong 2, 3, 4 seasons from now, that means that Nebraska is doing really well, so it won't be as big of a deal.
Yep.
And really, that's what you have to root for, right? Is that this staff,
this is not going to be an issue if Nebraska's good again.
Correct. If they're good again, then you don't have to worry about
the only way you worry about is if, let's say,
if he actually did become
they're 8-5 or 8-4 good,
but
while
Zane Flores
is winning Pac-12 championships at Washington and going to the playoffs.
Well, how about this? So at the beginning of the Bo Pelini era, those teams, as always, won 9 or 10 games and had 4 losses. But in particular, in 2009 and 2010 with the defenses, and especially in 2009, there was a constant lament of, man, if they had Blaine Gabbert. And Blaine Gabbert was, good. He wasn't great. He was good. He became a first-rounder in the NFL draft. He was a good player. He might have been the difference between 10-4, losing to Texas, and 12-2, 13-1. I mean, he could have been that good of a player for Nebraska, and he could have been that big of a difference. So, yeah, you're right. If Nebraska gets good, let's say that happens. The only time that it's still a problem then is if Zane Flores is like a Heisman contender or is that type of player.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I can't project that. I have no idea. But again, when you struggle and when you lose, the benefit of the doubt just kind of goes by the wayside. Like Kirby Smart, if this happened in Georgia and there's this equivalent of a player and he passes on him, hey, it's Kirby Smart. What are you going to do? It's for the longest time, Bill Belichick, remember?
To the winners go the spoils.
Yeah, he trade players away, and it's like, what the hell
what
are you
doing? He doing? If any
it's
other
Bill
coach
Belichick.
had done it, if any other coach had done it, you'd be looked at with crossways.
Yep.
But because it's Bill Belichick, it's like, oh, he must know what he's doing.
Yeah. So
yeah, benefit of the doubt does go a long way.
Yep.
There was in an unrelated recruiting story, but it kind of ties in. Nebraska's been in on a lineman from Lee Summit by the name of Caden Green. He's a 4-star lineman. And there was something in the synopsis done by Husker Online that kind of caught my attention. Green had been recruited previously, but more of a lukewarm response, or certainly not a very aggressive response. And Green told Husker Online he's noticed a significant change in Nebraska's efforts towards him.
Yeah.
He said Nebraska stepped up their efforts. He would probably say that wouldn't be tough to do from the previous offensive staff that he barely heard from. Now he says he hears from a Nebraska assistant coach most out of all the coaches that recruit him. Makes you wonder, what the hell were they doing?
I know, man. It's odd.
What were they doing?
Yeah, it reminds me of the quote, and we talked about it a little bit last week or 2 weeks ago. When Frost talked about the line, like they're finally doing what I've been wanting them to do. They're firing off the ball. And it's like, well, you had the same guy for 4 years. Why did it take until now for them to finally fire off the ball? And this seems to be like the most basic form of effort in recruiting. Strange times, man.
They're always strange times.
Yeah, that's true.
And the perfect person to describe them and to try to analyze them for us is someone who's strange himself. Chris Basnett, our Friday friend. First time we've had a chance to all sit down together as a Friday family on 1620 The Zone.
Hey, everyone. Josh Peterson here for my friends at Miracle Hill Golf and Tennis. I'm sad about this weekend because while I'm excited for the new place that I'll be living in, I don't really like moving, and it's going to be in the 50s tomorrow, and the wind is finally going to die down. What a perfect opportunity to get out onto the golf course. Give them a call today at Miracle Hill Golf and Tennis, 402-498-0220, and find out about those available tee times as the good weather returns. And don't forget, next week, as it gets back into the 40s just a little bit, and perhaps on one of those very windy days like we have had lately, Top Tracer building, no problem at all. You are covered. It is comfortable in there. And certainly later on this year when the temperatures are close to 100, it'll be nice and cool inside. They have the television so you can watch the tournament of great significance, food, drinks, and a whole lot more. You can play courses from all around the world, and you can hone in on those skills as the golf season returns. 402-498-0220. Book your tee times today. And don't forget about their Masters Madness 2-person scramble, which is coming up in a couple of weeks on Saturday, April the 9th. They're located just north of Dodge on 120th Street, Miracle Hill Golf and Tennis.
1620 The Zone is easy to hear anywhere. On air, online, and on social media. Wherever you are, we are. 1620 The Zone.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Hi guys, it's Andrew with Brookside Medical Clinic. Are you struggling with erectile dysfunction and sick of the pills? Well, we have a major medical advancement that has helped thousands of men. The WAVE technology at Brookside Medical was tested by Cambridge University and the Cleveland Clinic, and the results are in. It's proven to increase blood flow by repairing blood vessels. No pills and no side effects. If you're ready to put a stop to your ED by treating the root cause, call us now, and not only will the assessment and blood flow ultrasound be free, we'll also include something unique that produces immediate results in the bedroom. This is a $600 value, free to those that call in the next 2 minutes. 402-671-7777. That's 402-671-7777. Guys, put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and get your love life back. Call Brookside Medical Clinic now to qualify. 402-671-7777.
Wanna bet? Las Vegas is miles away. The Sportsbook at Ameristar Council Bluffs is much closer. We're your 50-yard line. Behind home plate. Center court ticket to real-time odds and over-unders. We've got all the action and the best odds in town. So grab the crew and place all your bets on all your favorite teams at the Sportsbook at Ameristar Council Bluffs. Must be at least 21. Terms subject to change. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF. Sports betting is legal in Iowa and not Nebraska.
Something happens when we can't be our true selves. You can hear it in our laughs. There's the half-hearted chuckle.
Oh.
The courtesy conference caller.
Yeah, great.
And of course, the I'm only laughing because I'm dating your daughter.
Oh, that's so true.
If you want to laugh for real, try having some Miller Lite with some friends. It works. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2021 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin beer.
The lowest race of the year at Genesis Health Clubs right now to get us all ready for summer. Hi, I'm Rodney Stephen, owner of Genesis Health Clubs. Summer is literally right around the corner, and there's no better time than the present. Right now at Genesis Health Clubs, we're offering the lowest race of the year so you can get started toward your fitness goals because this summer is yours. Even better, we're waiving enrollment fees and taking $18 off a month for you to start now. But it won't last long. This offer expires at the end of the month, and it will not be extended. This is your last chance to get the lowest race of the year with no enrollment fee. Hurry, just 6 days left. This summer is for you. The benefits of regular exercise are endless. Look better, feel better, have more energy. Are you worth it? Yes. We only get one body. Nothing is more important than our health. The lowest race of the year with no enrollment fee. 6 days left. Join online at genesishealthclubs.com before the lowest race of the year are gone forever. Hurry, just 6 days left. Act today. This offer will not be extended.
Rebuild or reload.
Nemard sprints into the front court, lobs it up, and it goes in!
Settle or soar.
And Alex O'Connell forces a second overtime.
Fold or fight.
Here's Trey, a run to the rim, goes in, and won!
The future arrived.
Harper!
The Creighton Blue Jays
Have never quit on you!
let it fly.
Jays win! Jays win! Jays win!
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct is brought to you by Union Bank and Trust. Now back to the program.
Chris Basnett joining us from the Lincoln Journal-Star, HuskerExtra.com.
Have you ever had a show that you loved to join, held them close to your heart like a commemorative coin? Let me tell you a story of my situation. I used to join the best show in the U.S. nation, but all of a sudden, some young'un came to be and stole all my thunder at 1620. His golf sure's a dope he wouldn't hesitate to lend. The boys at Unsportsmanlike Conduct told me he was just a friend. You got what I need.
He's just such a natural.
But you say Chris is just a friend. But you say Chris is just a friend. Oh, baby,
I think the sky's the limit.
You got what I need.
I don't know if you learn a lot of these things.
But you say Chris is just a friend. You say Chris is just a friend.
It was perfectly boring.
Piece of advice, if you're going to Lincoln tonight, if you're in Lincoln for the baseball game, I wouldn't park in that parking lot that's to the south of the ballpark beyond the right field wall, because if the wind continues to howl like it did this afternoon that nearly blew the car door in on me, there's probably going to be a lot of balls hit out to right tonight. That'd be my guess there, Bass. Just, I don't know if it's still howling like, Hurricane Irma, but it's pretty strong out there.
I think we've upgraded from howling to ripping.
Oh,
The wind is ripping out to right now, currently. At least at my house, it is. So I'm about to hit some balls over my fence into my neighbor's yard and see what he thinks of that.
Get ready for some piss rockets.
Anyway. Piss rockets.
As our friend Brunt says. Piss rockets, folks. Oh, man.
Are we looking forward to the baseball this week? I mean, it was already an important series because it is Michigan. And Nebraska and Michigan have been the two best programs in the Big Ten the last 3 years. But with Nebraska playing as they are, it's like, they need to do something this weekend.
Yeah, no, it's big. It's big. You look at the Big Ten. Obviously, Nebraska's had its own struggles, but you look at the Big Ten as a whole, and it's not been a great year early on for the Big Ten. I know Purdue's off to a great start, but their strength of schedule isn't very good. But Indiana's down right now. Michigan's record isn't great against a really tough schedule. Maryland's played pretty well. But, I think there's a lot of question marks around the league. And it's no guarantee, as of today that the Big Ten's going to get 4 or 5 teams into regions. You have to be playing with the mindset that you probably need to win the league or be top two or three in the league to give yourself a chance in the postseason. And that's the reality of it, I think, for Nebraska. So, yeah, it's a huge series. It's huge for Nebraska, certainly after what's happened in the non-conference and especially what happened last weekend against A&M Corpus Christi. And it's big for Michigan, too, coming off an upset loss in the midweek and trying to pump up their own record.
Baz, what explains the Big Ten, being in that spot this year? Is it just the ebbs and flows of year to year? Sometimes you're going to have a step back, or is something different happening with these programs that they're underachieving to a degree?
Yeah, I think it's just the ebbs and flows. I think most people thought Maryland was going to be pretty good, and that's turned out to be the case. Like I said, Michigan's playing a really, really tough non-conference schedule. I think they're going to be fine. Nebraska specific, you're looking at a lot of young guys that have played a lot of innings for those guys. They've obviously had some injuries and some issues in the pitching rotation. They haven't hit the ball like they did last year, and we knew there was going to be question marks to answer with Nebraska, with the star power they lost last year. There's no question about that. So yeah, I think it's different things for different teams, but overall, I think this is more the ebbs and flows of how this thing goes than anything else.
Well, of course, yesterday the big news was that Xavier Betts is no longer with the team, though there was supposed to be a meeting today between he and Frost to maybe either solidify one way or another what his future holds. Folks, obviously, Nebraska sadly has gone through this several times with a high-profile skill position player, especially wide receiver, having left early or transferred. And folks did certainly make their case to poo-poo losing Wandale or JD. Why is this one different, or is it?
Well, I think it's different because he's an in-state kid. I think that's where you start. And he was such a star at Bellevue West, and everybody already knew who he was, before he even committed to Nebraska. He was the best player in the state, for a long time as a high school player. So that's where it's different. I think it was easier for people to see the talent with Xavier as opposed to, if he would have been from say Louisiana or Florida or wherever, where you don't have a bunch of Nebraska fans going to his games every Friday night. It's different. It's different watching a highlight reel as opposed to watching him up close. So I think that's probably the biggest difference more than anything else. And the talent with Xavier is obvious. There's no question about that. And he's flashed that at times. And that's probably part of it too, is that he is such a talented guy. And it's clear he's a talented guy. So you combine that with being a local kid. I think those are the two things that maybe make this one a little different.
And what do you see, Baz, with the rest of the wide receiver room? Like last year after Wandale left, by the time the season rolled around, Samori Toure ended up putting together a really good campaign. And a lot of people are like, hey, no worries at all, that they were fine. But I always contended but imagine what the offense, I guess, could have been with Wandale. When you look at the skill set that Xavier had compared with the skill set of the other guys, and I know some of them are new, what do you see in terms of the drop-off, or could it end up being, a net neutral overall statistical season?
Yeah, I think it's tough to tell right now with so many of the new guys that are probably going to play right away. We know Xavier's the type of guy that can take the top off of defense and be a real legitimate deep threat. I don't know how many of those guys they have on the roster. That's maybe the first thing you point to when you're looking at that. Maybe Omar Manning becomes that guy. Maybe Alante Brown becomes that guy. There's different guys that could become that, but we don't know because they haven't really been in that role yet. So maybe Trey Palmer becomes that guy, the LSU transfer. So yeah, it's tough to tell right now. Look, you're losing a really talented guy who, when he's on his game, he's really good, and that hurts. It doesn't matter. You can talk about, well, does this loss hurt or does it not? It hurts because he's a really talented guy, and that's the bottom line. So yeah, there's a lot of unknowns right now. It's just so many of the new faces that they're going to have in that receiving core, but it hurts when you don't have a guy with the talent of Xavier Betts.
We always like to look at how guys have changed over the previous season, gotten into the weight room, changed their bodies. Yesterday, it was the new chiseled Jockey Ant that was impressing some folks, 20-ish pounds lighter. Are we now gonna put him at the top of the running back board for the mid-spring report?
Yeah, if we're the daily depth chart update without anybody seeing practice, yeah, we'll go ahead and put him. We'll go ahead and put him number one just based on the visual alone. I mean, and look, maybe he ends up being that guy, maybe he doesn't, but we know he had some consistency issues last year and whatnot. But look, dude looks the part, and if he's able to turn that into production, then yeah, he could certainly be the bell cow in this offense. But based on just seeing what he looks like physically and knowing what he's capable of, yeah, as of 3:43 p.m. on Friday, he's probably at the top of the depth chart.
Baz, kind of a big picture question for you. Tennessee's been in the news a whole lot lately, given, that there's been a couple stories written about their collectives and recruiting. They just landed a 5-star quarterback earlier this week. I had a chance to read a story about Penn State and kind of their game plan moving forward with name, image, likeness, and in particular collectives. And it was another reminder how so many of these schools kind of put a lot of this stuff on Front Street. And Nebraska, for the most part, has been comfortable with remaining behind the scenes, I guess. Do they need to approach it differently? And I know that the university themselves, because of the rules, they're like, wink, wink, nod, nod. They're not allowed to technically do a whole lot of this stuff. But do they, I guess, need to embrace it and be a bit louder? Or is that just not the way that Nebraska rolls?
Yeah, I think it's more the latter. I just don't know if that's the way Nebraska's going to roll, especially with Trev Alberts as the athletic director. And Nebraska's, advantages, whether they're perceived or not, we really don't know because we're still so early in this thing. But Nebraska's advantages have been talked about a lot, both about the university and the people that cover that university. Being the only show in town with the following, it has all those things you hear all the time. Nebraska has those advantages, and maybe Nebraska feels like it's in a spot where it doesn't have to get out the megaphone, because it does feel pretty good about where it's at with as far as support, as far as its stature, in the state and those sorts of things. Now, if we get 2, 3, 4 years down the line and Nebraska's fallen behind, then we'll know, yeah, they probably should have been a little louder about it. But I think it's just it's so early right now to know which way is the best way, or if one way is the best way, maybe is the better way to say it, because everybody's still kind of trying to figure this out as we go. And, you talk to Trev Alberts and he'll tell you the same thing. We're all just kind of learning on the fly with this stuff. So could Nebraska be louder about how they do it? Sure. Yeah, absolutely they could. But does that work for Nebraska? I'm not sure yet.
Saw that last night Trev was on the on his radio show, and said there's been around 42,000 tickets sold for the spring game. He'd like to get it above 50,000. Is it surprising to you that it seems a little soft compared to previous years where you've had, and this is pre-COVID years, of course, where it was upwards of 70, 80,000 people?
Not really. I mean, look, all you have to do is look at the records the last few years and look at the record last year, 3-9. And obviously there's been a lot of changes in the off season as far as coaching staff and new faces at some pretty key spots and things like that. And I'm sure, post-COVID probably plays a role in that too. There's no question about that, but the record is what the record is. If Nebraska had gone 9-3 last year and went into the off season strong, then you'd probably see stronger sales for the spring game. So no, I'm not hugely surprised. Winning, it's like everything else. Winning makes stuff like that easier for a fan to go spend money and spend a day on the ticket in the game. So is it low compared to what it had been? Yeah, but considering the circumstances, is it a huge surprise of that where it is? I don't really think so.
I still blame the tens of thousands of gullible people who believe Josh Tweederson's weather predictions.
Hey, Baz, it's going to snow in a couple of weeks. I hope you're ready for it.
The snow's not done?
No, it is not done. In fact, it's going to snow the day of the spring game.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah.
Where are you getting your info?
I have my models. I have my
proprietary. You have your proprietary projections.
Exactly. I can't share everything.
Let me just throw a little pre-tease reference to something we're going to talk about later. Oh, he pulls it from the same place Bruce Willis's character's dad pulled the watch from in Pulp Fiction. That's where he gets his weather stuff from.
There it is. That sounds pretty proprietary to me. Not something I want to be a part of.
Well,
nope.
Understandably so. Understandably so. Nice reference, John.
Baz, enjoy the wind tonight. Make sure you get out in it and let it wash over your body.
It's going to soak in the atmosphere when it's 44 degrees and the wind's blowing 30 miles an hour.
Yeah, people be listening on the radio and they'll be like, "Wow, that is quite the crowd." And no, it's just the wind.
That's just the wind hitting our microphones, folks.
Exactly.
Now, I have not been to Haymarket Park for a while. The play park is still out there in right field, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's still out there. They've got a cover on it. So
yeah, I remember that. Yeah, they got the cover out there.
Keep an eye on your kid tonight if you got him out in the right field corner.
Poor kid's getting ready to go down the slide, and the wind just pushes him right back up to the top.
Yeah, this sucks.
Gets halfway down and gets stuck because of the wind, and then a pop-up lands right in his lap. It should have been an infield fly.
Oh, man.
All right, Baz, enjoy it. Thanks.
Thanks, guys. Talk to you next week.
Later, Baz.
Chris Baznet of the Lincoln Journal-Star. I don't know why you're showing me this because it's sold out.
It's sold out, Nick.
Once again.
The spring game?
No, this. The Amazing Pizza Machine.
That's gone. I'm sorry.
Sold out today.
Man.
I tell you all the time, the food ones always sell fast.
We love food, folks.
But there is still a deals page on 1620thezone.com.
Is there?
There is.
What's on there today, Nick?
What's on the deals
peruse
page?
This. One free weather prediction from Josh.
Oh,
That's
that is
nice.
awesome.
That's pretty cool.
Awesome. Here's
there
one.
it is.
Smoking Oak,
right at the
wood-fired
top.
pizza. Wow.
Domaha, Mary Maids, Cops Pizza.
Look at all these
Dude,
deals.
it's cookie dough.
Up to 50% off.
Wow, shopping.
Awesome.
Cool. Check out the deals page.
At 1620thezone.com.
There's wood. Oh, no, these are future ones. Those are future ones. Sorry.
Oh, it's got to be.
Yeah, the Cops and the Woodcliff. Those are coming up.
No,
in
but the
future.
Smoking Oak, that one's available.
The Smoking Oak is available.
Right
the Mystery
now.
Machine carping, the Langfeld overhead doors.
Domaha.
The cookie dough, people.
I love cookie dough.
Cookie dough.
I had ice cream 2 nights ago. There was cookie dough inside of the ice cream. It was delicious.
There was a 7-Eleven like 2 blocks away from our hotel.
Okay.
And I hadn't had any dinner.
No din.
And I went to the 7-Eleven. They actually sold
cookie
things
dough. Of cookie dough? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I
Just got a tube of cookie dough?
Yeah, not a tube. It was in a plastic cup, but they were like little portioned out chunks of cookie dough that you just eat.
Yum. I
Sounds
love cookie
delicious.
dough. Yeah, I love it.
And it was safe too, not the stuff that you used to eat out of the cookie bowl because of the raw eggs and
It's
stuff.
edible cookie dough.
That's become one of my favorite life hacks over the last few years. Buy vanilla ice cream, buy cookie dough, put as much in there as you want.
Yep. Have as much
Delicious.
cookie dough. Well, you can get those zone deals right now
Awesome.
at 1620thezone.com.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone. 1620 The Zone. Traffic.
From the Burton AC Heating, Plumbing, and More Time-Saving Traffic Center. Currently nothing major as far as wrecks go. Getting reports of stop-and-go traffic if you're east on 370 between 84th and 72nd. Slow going on southbound 72nd between Josephine and Centennial Road. And then if you're west on Dodge, few delays between 680 and 108th. I'm Mike Neville. This time-saving traffic is brought to you by Saul's Jewelry and Loan.
Hey everyone, it's John with Saul's. Great jewelry is always in fashion, and we have it all at Saul's. From diamond bracelets to rings to earrings and those one-of-a-kind gold pieces that you can't find anywhere else, and so much more. Smart shoppers start here at Saul's.
Email any of our shows anytime into the Equitable Bank inbox. At Equitable, we take banking personally. For me, John at 1620thezone.com. The Equitable Bank inbox from 1620 The Zone. Rebuild or reload.
Nemard sprints into the front court, lobs it up, and it goes in!
Settle or soar.
And Alex O'Connell forces a second overtime.
Fold or fight.
Here's Trey, a run to the rim, goes in, and one!
The future arrived.
Harper!
The Creighton Blue Jays.
Have never quit on you!
Let it fly.
Jays win! Jays win! Jays win!
Have you wanted to speak a new language but thought it'd be too difficult or take too much time? Then try Babbel. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel teaches you conversations that you will actually use. With 14 languages and lesson topics like travel, business, relationships, and more, you'll learn what matters most to you. Babbel. Language for life. Learn a new language with ease. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com.
When I need a new furnace or AC, I choose a company that provides solutions that meet my needs and budget.
When my furnace or AC needs repairs, I call a company with reliable technicians, not commissioned salespeople.
When I need a straight answer, I choose a company that is honest and has integrity.
At Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, we provide the best solutions for your needs and budget. It's just part of
the way we do the things we do.
Carrier, turn to the experts.
CM's Outdoor, now a proud part of Ryan Lawn and Tree. For a limited time, get your first lawn or pest application for free. Schedule a free estimate at bestomahala.lawn.com. That's bestomahala.lawn.com.
Excuse me, Carol?
Hey, Dale. You finished that report I asked for?
Oh, yeah, about that. I didn't get a chance to do it.
No worries. You've been so busy.
Really?
Of course. Dale, you're our hardest worker. You should take an extra week of vacation.
Are you firing me?
No, I promise. Just giving you the break you deserve.
Wow. Thanks, boss. You sure you're not firing me?
Actually, I'm going to promote you. But first, take a week off on the company's dime.
Sometimes things just get better. Like AT&T. We've invested more than $150 million to grow our wireless network coverage to over 99% of Nebraska. So you can talk, text, and share in more places than ever. Visit att.com/Nebraska and learn how to get a free smartphone when you switch to AT&T. Coverage not available everywhere. Over 99% coverage based on third-party data. Network investments based on 2018 through 2020 expenditure.
Hi guys, it's Andrew with Brookside Medical Clinic. Are you struggling with erectile dysfunction and sick of the pills? Well, we have a major medical advancement that has helped thousands of men. The WAVE technology at Brookside Medical was tested by Cambridge University and the Cleveland Clinic, and the results are in. It's proven to increase blood flow by repairing blood vessels. No pills and no side effects. If you're ready to put a stop to your ED by treating the root cause, call us now, and not only will the assessment and blood flow ultrasound be free, we'll also include something unique that produces immediate results in the bedroom. This is a $600 value, free to those that call in the next 2 minutes. 402-671-7777. That's 402-671-7777. Guys, put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and get your love life back. Call Brookside Medical Clinic now to qualify. 402-671-7777.
Shop Woodhouse Place Hyundai and Nissan, 144th and Giles. KOZN, Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs.
Unsportsmanlike Unsportsmanlike content.
Unsportsmanlike content. Content that's unsportsmanlike.
Wait, what's going on
I don't
here?
like this. I don't like this at 3:55. It makes me think the show is almost over.
Well,
and
with
there's
all
still
the
2 hours left.
With all the rescheduling we've done, it makes the most sense.
Wow.
That is
Sorry.
true. I mean, Kent is joining us where we would normally do predictions, and then an unsportsmanlike content would follow that.
Yeah, but this segment is about all the topics that we haven't had time for. But no wonder we haven't had time for them. We haven't even been on for 2 hours.
Have you seen the schedule today, Josh?
I have.
We're stacked.
All right, let's get to some
Blame Kent and his very important meeting.
Thanks, Kent.
Damn it, Kent.
Once again, Gonzaga will not win the national championship.
Wait, I thought this was a segment where we touch on things we haven't had a chance to touch
Yeah,
on yet. We've
Nick,
talked about
what
Gonzaga.
are you doing?
But have you talked about if it'll change within the next decade?
We have not talked about that.
They'll win one in the next decade.
They're too good of a program not to. They recruit too well. They coach too well. They'll break through. It takes time sometimes. It's a bummer. People forget, right?
Over 20 years.
I
but
know,
sure,
I
why
know,
not?
I know.
No, I'm
I'll do
gonna
it.
ride. I'm gonna ride it and say yes. It's finally gonna happen. It's gonna happen for them at some point in the next decade.
Good take.
Meanwhile, Duke won. Suddenly, they find themselves a win away from the Final Four. So tell me, why did you two expect anything different?
Well,
and not go
don't.
with me?
It's all the Duke hater over here. You know,
What? Mr. Anti-Duke.
Mr. Anti-Duke, Mr. Anti-Establishment. You know, the Cowboy fan.
Why are you now pro Duke?
What's your bracket look like,
it's
Josh?
not really so much pro Duke. I do like the story.
What?
And if
the
Coach K had
hell?
lost last night, then the story is over. I realize at some point it's going to end. But there's a part of me that wants to see Duke get to the Final Four so that it happens on the biggest stage.
That the loss happens on the biggest stage?
Or maybe the win.
So, like, if Jerry Jones before next year was like, I'm going to sell my franchise and I'm retiring, would you be like, oh, it's so cool for the story?
No, not really, because Mike Krzyzewski's actually an accomplished person. Jerry Jones is just a drunken old fool
That's not true.
who inherited a whole bunch of oil money and then bought himself a football team.
Wait, did he inherit it? I thought he made that money by himself.
He pulled himself
I think
up
it was
by
a
his
little bit of both.
bootstraps.
By his bootstraps.
Yeah.
This
Well,
sucks.
You know, and the reason his bootstraps were down was because he was with another one of his lady
Wow,
friends.
this sucks, man. For the second straight game, no props to them because they were down throughout. I guess they weren't down throughout the Michigan State game, but they ended up getting down late. They came back and won. Last night they were down like the entire game, and then they put together some nice runs. Texas Tech, you could see that sphincter was clenching. Oh, sad.
Well, and Coach K switching to his zone, which he
cool.
very rarely does.
The post game interviews are making me sick right now because he just you got to give him so much credit. Texas Tech, what a game! Wow, this is such a great game. Shut up, Coach K. Go away. I can't wait.
You don't believe he's being sent serious when he's talking up the opponent?
No, he's just playing it up for the camera.
Do you guys know that it's Coach K's last season?
Oh, wow! Look at Nick with a fact that I hadn't heard of.
Now I know. Listen, I was watching most of the game on mute because I was watching
the other game. Michigan.
No, I was watching our movie.
Oh, Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
I didn't turn up the audio. I didn't. Well, when it got inside of 8 minutes, that's when I paused the movie.
Yeah.
And I went strictly to the game.
I'll be honest. I didn't get a chance to watch the whole.
And you know what? As much as you want to bag on my guy Jim Nance, I don't remember him talking a lot over and over and over again about, oh, this is his last game. This could be the last game. Could be the last game.
Well, they'll do that probably tomorrow.
Last night,
it could be his last game.
It could be. Oh, that'd be so fun.
Could be Coach K's last game.
Mm-hmm.
Last night, Trev Alberts spoke on the radio and discussed a centralized approach for brand consistency across all sports. This includes uniforms. I think we need to have consistent home and away uniforms that are clean, consistent, represent Nebraska, Albert said. It's important. What will said consistent theme look like?
He said this before.
Yes, he has.
And he doubled down on it last night. It's going to be kind of interesting because I understand where he's coming from. Nebraska's a little hit and miss when it comes to consistency. Yes, the color's always, scarlet and cream.
And black.
Scarlet and cream.
And black.
Sometimes white.
But
that's the cream.
when you look at the football team, sometimes it doesn't look like they're on the same page with volleyball and Baseball's got a lot of different looks
Baseball's a ton of different
because
looks.
they have a lot of different uniforms they use when they go on lengthier road trips.
Basketball has a lot of stuff.
Basketball does have a lot of stuff.
Is this like a combination of they have like too much? It's like a modern and classic. They just have a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Either go with a classic look or go with a modern look.
Correct.
And I think it's okay to have like a vintage throwback uniform, but they have multiple uniforms that look vintage.
Then
they have multiple uniforms that look modern.
See, what I think, one of the inconsistencies that's kind of bothered me is the red N on the helmets has always been symbolic of Nebraska, yet they use the block N or the Michigan N because it looks like Michigan's M, just one letter up in the alphabet. That could definitely be pick one or the other.
Yeah.
But do you then design something new and put that on the helmets, or do you settle on the helmet?
They better not change the helmet. That is a classic helmet. What would that mean? Because my guess is that they would keep the N on the helmet. What if they change Memorial Stadium's midfield logo? They're about to fix up the turf. You could go with that N, a thinner N. They used to have that. In the 80s and the 90s. So yeah, I think it.
But is that what they're going to put on the volleyball uniforms and the basketball uniforms and the baseball uniforms?
Yeah, I wonder if he's thinking like that kind of minute.
I think he is. He's looking for because.
Like you said,
the program he came from, they changed all the logos for Omaha.
And it's the same thing.
And it is the same. Creighton, the same logos. But Nebraska's a little hodgepodge, hit and miss.
I'm curious as to like the vintage versus the modern, if they would lean one way or the other, and if so, which way that they would lean. I think it'd be fun if they kind of went with more of a vintage look, on across their stuff. Like Kansas, every now and then they'll play with some of their old school uniforms, and it looks really cool. I think, vintage can always come back in style, that kind of classic look. And I think that they could do that. I mean, you have some really fun eras to look through with football that I think you could do. And I'd be interested to see, I guess, we've already seen them with the baseball. I'd be interested to see what that would look like, even with something like volleyball or basketball.
You ready for more NFL offseason wackiness? Dale Arnold, veteran Boston sportcaster, says he would not be surprised if Tom Brady tries to engineer a trade to Miami. In fact, he says the parties are working on it. Would you be shocked if the Dolphins traded for Brady?
You gonna play the drop?
I'm gonna play the drop.
Yes, I would be shocked. If Tom Brady is not playing in Tampa, in my opinion, he is going to play in San Francisco. I do not think that he would want to go to the division that would require him to play the Patriots not once, but 2 times.
Really? You don't?
I don't
think
he
wouldn't enjoy getting 2 more cracks at Bill Belichick?
I don't think
so. And the fact that they just picked up Tyreek Hill?
Yeah, I mean, that would definitely be intriguing, but I think the 49ers are a more loaded team anyway. I think that they have a better coach. They are more ready for success. It's the team that he grew up rooting for. And
But then he's going to get his ass whacked twice by the Rams every year.
I just don't think he wants to play
he already did that last year.
I don't think he wants to play Pats. He seemed miserable last year. I don't think he wants to do it. So I would be stunned if he ended up going to Miami.
I wouldn't be, because there were rumors that he was going to be going to Miami earlier.
Were there?
There were some that they were going to, he was going to buy into the franchise. Some of those. Now, it could all be a bunch of BS.
A bunch of poop.
Bunch of hip-hop hogwash. No, anymore, nothing would surprise me. The NFL has said, hold my beer so many times with this offseason, they've run out of beer.
Threw it in the trash.
Rich McKay, the head of the NFL's competition committee, says that there's a general feeling around the league that overtime could be improved.
Whoa, wow.
But he says that it's hard to reach a consensus on exactly how to do it. Why do these people have to make it so dang hard?
Because it's the NFL, and you have 32 different teams, all of which run by 32 different owners. Most of them barely understand the damn sport that they're owning in the first place. And they are making it much more difficult. In fact, I saw that the Titans had suggested one of the overtime fixes was, well, both teams get a possession unless
the first team goes for 2.
That scores first goes for 2 and gets it, which again defeats the purpose.
Yeah.
The idea is that each team gets an opportunity with the football. So all you're doing is you're making the same mistake the NFL made 10 years ago when they changed overtime. So I don't know. I don't know why they make it so damn difficult. But this is the NFL, and it's all about the drama.
It's almost like, John, they think that if they're gonna add or change something, invent a new rule, that they have to kind of go above and beyond, and it can't just be kind of nice and neat. Because I'm with you. Like, that was a hilarious idea of both teams get the ball unless the first team goes for two. Like you said, it defeats the purpose. Then what are we doing here? Why make any changes to begin with? I don't know why this one thing has to be so difficult. I think them trying to figure out what the second possession is like the hang up of it all, because the first team scores a touchdown, they kick the extra point. Congratulations. I think that they are really trying to figure out, should the second team have to go for two, or is it okay if then we get a third possession? Because yes, I know what the complaint is. Well, then you still benefit from winning the first coin toss. Yeah, sure, but both teams would get the ball, and so I don't know. Why does it have to be so hard? You said it. This is the NFL. This is what they do.
Dodgers manager Dave Roberts told Dan Patrick, "We will win the World Series. Put it on record." Bold talk or no duh?
I mean, it's definitely going to be the former for me, just because if anytime somebody in sports that is actually involved with a franchise or program in college guarantees a championship, I mean, that's pretty bold. For it to happen from the coach in the month of March, I think is incredibly bold. I will say a part of me looks at the latter option, though, and says, hey, yeah, no duh as well. This is a loaded team. They are the heavy favorites to win, but I'm going to lean a lot more bold than I will no duh.
By the way, as long as someone tells Dave Roberts they can't literally buy the World Series trophy and take that with them, they actually have to go out and win it. But, yeah. I mean, it's very bold.
They're plus 470. The next closest team is the Blue Jays. What? Are the Blue Jays good?
Yeah, Blue Jays
plus 950. So, I mean, better
Blue
than
Jays
half.
are pretty good.
That better. Wow.
Pretty good.
Tweet. Am I right?
By the way, Dave Roberts also signed a 3-year extension, so he's around for 3 more years.
People forget he stole the base that kicked off the Red Sox comeback against the Yankees in 04.
I've forgotten all about that.
Oh, I didn't.
It's illegal to steal. Here's an opinion that was said on television about the LA Lakers. If they make it to the 8th spot, they will beat Phoenix. How would you describe this opinion held by one Shaquille O'Neal?
I would describe it as Shaquille was on something, because
oh wow,
no, the Lakers are not beating the Suns. Lakers are a not good basketball team.
They are.
I don't care if they get in the playoffs, and I don't care if they have LeBron. It hasn't mattered to this point. Why would it change in the postseason? No, this is silliness.
Not to mention, I know that he said if they make it to the 8th spot, they would still have to win one, if not a second play-in game. No. This ain't happening. Shaq, bad take.
I think Shaq's just lonely right now because he doesn't have Kenny and Charles, and
that's true. They're all doing college
stuff. They're all doing
Shaq
the superior basketball.
Oh, get out of here. He never gets invited to that. I wonder if that makes him sad. Hey, Kenny, I want to come and do college hoops with you.
He's probably too busy doing commercials for everybody.
It's because Shaq wouldn't be able to hold it over Charles that he has a ring in college basketball. Neither of them have a ring in college basketball.
Did Kenny? Did he win one at UNC? He didn't. I don't think he won one at UNC,
Kenny.
Right? He wasn't on the 82 team, and he wouldn't have been on the early 90s team. Yes, he must have.
Why did I have Kenny Smith playing at Houston?
I don't know.
Because when you said North Carolina, I thought, wait a minute. I thought
he played for the Rockets, so maybe he just had.
Oh, that's what I was.
Yeah.
Did Kenny Smith not win a national championship? What years was he at North Carolina?
Let's see. No, 83 to 87. Why? Just missed it.
Just missed it.
That was
just missed it.
Yep.
USMT Pulisic Rue chances and draw with Mexico. That was an actual headline on actual ESPN.com. Josh.
Nick.
What the hell what does this mean? Translate, please.
All right, so U.S. NMT, that is the U.S. Well, you said it wrong. It's the U.S. men's national team. It's USMNT. Pulisic is an American soccer player.
That doesn't sound like an American name to me.
It's a last name, John. Rue chances. I don't know what the definition of rue is.
Like you'll rue the day.
Like you'll rue the day.
Rue the day. So that's what it means. It means regret.
They
will regret their chances in a draw. This last night wasn't that. It's not a bad draw.
I thought this Pulisic guy was making like a
He made a roux like a stew.
He make like a jambalaya.
Yeah,
Start
that
with
would
a
be
roux.
quite the soccer match if he would have done that out there on the
Would have
pitch.
been more entertaining than the soccer match. Am I right?
I didn't see this. My friends, the
or hear about
the text thread was blowing up last night about the.
Oh, really?
It seemed like there were some bad calls. Plus,
I
it was
missed it all.
It was down in Mexico, John, and it ended in a draw. It's always fun to beat Mexico, on their home turf, but unfortunately, it didn't happen. And ended in I think a 0-0 draw. So you would have loved it.
Sounds exciting.
Sounds so exciting.
I was packing and moving stuff and then watching basketball.
I was on Snapchat last night, and that showed up on my friend's story. He was watching the game,
the soccer,
rooting for Mexico.
Oh.
And then I picked the. All right,
Tell your friend, screw you, friend.
I checked the score after, and I saw it was 0-0. I'm like,
0-0.
Man,
is
horrible.
Is he from or his family roots?
Yeah,
from Mexico.
Yes,
nice. Okay. That's awesome.
I'm fine. Listen, I don't care
about America.
American soccer.
Wow,
the last World Cup was so much more enjoyable.
No, it wasn't. You didn't watch any of it.
Exactly. Just like I won't
the
watch
one
any of
before
the
that, Nick. It was right before I got this job. We went and watched with two of my friends. We went and watched U.S. play. I think Germany, and John was chanting defense. It was so funny.
Where'd they play?
Where did America play?
Well,
in the
you said you guys watched it.
Yeah, we like at a bar.
Okay,
yeah, at a bar. Yeah.
It was that bar where all the American soccer hoodlums go.
Yeah, we were Barley's, Barrett's.
Yeah,
we were
huge,
over
huge. All the different soccer people were there.
It
They
was
were
really
going
cool.
crazy.
John bought us beer. It was great. I was like, we can drink before a show. This is sweet.
Yeah, this was pre-One Beer Friday.
Whoa. Oh yeah, this is like 2014.
I can't think of a time.
And we watched we watched the soccer.
Yeah, John was seriously defense. It was great.
And the best part was they were listening to me because they
whole played
game
a lot of
is
defense.
a lot of defense, not a lot of scoring.
Sounds amazing.
It was.
It was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Coming up,
the show's done, right?
No, the show is not done.
Oh, I'm like a dog. What's the thing called when you train?
Pavlovian response.
That is what happens with me when I hear that.
Why don't you want to hang out with John and I?
I mean, I'd love to, but
you really want to leave.
I got packing to do, Nick. I got things to do. I got my keys today. I got to move.
Can you translate this tweet from Jordan? Coming out of Azteca with any points is a win.
So that's the stadium.
They didn't score anything.
You got a point,
It was 0-0. They didn't
get a draw.
0-0,
score.
John.
How do you score when you don't score?
You know hockey points. You know how it works out. If you win, you get 3 points. If you draw, you get 1 point. There you go.
So they both got a point?
They got 1 point.
Toward the cup?
Towards their standings.
Towards their standings.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's because they're right now they're qualifying. They're in qualification.
Well, at least you called it standings.
Oh, the table. What a cool term.
What the hell?
It's a table.
Exactly. Isn't it a dumb sport?
No, listen, you like Formula One with all your goofiness. You cannot say what the hell about soccer.
No, but our point system makes sense.
Yeah.
We don't use things like table. We
table
say
is the
points.
standings. Table is the
No,
standings.
I get that, but we say points
And
or
there's
standings.
no tying in Formula One either, is there?
Well, yeah, they just get in accidents. Oh, is there tying?
They can, but then the winner goes to whoever had the most wins. And then
Yeah,
if
there's
they tied on
tiebreakers.
wins, then
How
it's
come they
whoever has
didn't do a
the most goals.
tiebreaker for the most flops? The team, if they go 0-0, the team with the most flops should win the match.
Or the team that had the most cumulative miles ran.
Oh, that would be
that's
awesome.
even better.
Oh, I'd kick some ass.
that'd be awesome.
Let me in. Let me in.
You can't just run around the
No, you have to
field.
actually be playing.
Wouldn't
You
that
can't
be
just do
awesome?
laps.
Oh, I
Wouldn't
could
that
do
be
that.
awesome
I
if
could
they
run.
did this? If every soccer match was decided, if it ended up in a tie by the most miles run cumulatively by the players, you'll have guys. You'll have guys literally running back and forth.
Goalkeeper just keeps going strafing.
Why is he still running?
They'd be
The
pretty
ball's
tired.
over here. You're not playing defense. You're just running. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to break this tie.
Soccer
This is
boys.
a great idea.
You're welcome, FIFA.
This is a great idea.
We're here for you, FIFA.
Oh man,
I'm going to talk to Glenn.
I just fixed your sport.
I'm going to talk to Glenn.
I would
Sisk.
watch this.
I'm going to talk to Glenn Sisk, and I'm going to have you announce a game with me next year. We need to make this happen.
We're not having.
We need to make this happen.
We're not doing that. No, that's fine. That is fantastic. That is a great idea. That might be my best idea ever.
It's
They could have the little total on the side. You know, it's got like Uruguay 10,647 miles run, and Paraguay 8,000.
Did you say it was your idea?
Yeah, I did. I said if they broke ties by the amount of miles run.
But okay.
Do you think you came up with the
You
idea?
know what?
I just said it.
I'll name it after you. I'll call it the Grimm Rule.
I'll take that.
I don't remember who said it first.
I just said it.
I thought John
Earlier.
said it. I don't care.
Play back the tape.
You play it back.
We'll call it the Grim Rule.
Wow, Nick is very
I'm
triggered
fine with
now.
that.
No, it's a great idea. It's an awesome idea.
I
It's a
said
wonderful
something
idea.
that you guys both didn't hate at the same time. I'm going to be defensive over it.
I wasn't paying attention.
We'll be back after this. Yes, there's still more program to come, including Deshaun Watson.
No!
He had his first press conference today. He had his first press conference today.
Oh, cool.
And
he said some stupid stuff.
I don't know. I don't know if he said stupid stuff, but certainly the owners did.
I got one thing that Deshaun said that was very dumb. Very dumb.
Okay. Well, we'll see if it's in the audio that I gave to Nick. Coming up on 1620 The Zone.
Zone, taste of our takes. Sharp and Betting in the Morning.
The head coach in Nebraska is Will Bolton. He joins us now on Sharp and Betting in the Morning. You're going to coach a real full season in year number 3. Welcome.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Yeah. We got jokes, Coach.
You know what? You're not wrong, though. I deal in absolute truth in my world, and that you're not lying. So we're fired up to be able to play a full season.
For more, tune in every day to 1620 a.m. or go to 1620thezone.com. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
A wind advisory and red flag warning in place Friday as northwest winds pick up in the morning, gusting up to 45 miles per hour through the afternoon and evening. We will see plenty of sunshine, though, with highs in the mid-50s. I'm meteorologist Sean Everson from KETV News Watch 7.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct, brought to you by a great friend of the program, Union Bank and Trust.
1620 The Zone. Traffic.
From the Burton AC Heating, Plumbing, and More Time-Saving Traffic Center. Currently nothing major as far as wrecks go. Getting reports of stop-and-go traffic if you're east on 370 between 84th and 72nd. Slow going on southbound 72nd between Josephine and Centennial Road. And then if you're west on Dodge, a few delays between 680 and 108th. I'm Mike Neville. This time-saving traffic is brought to you by Lanahan Nurseries.
Shop Lanahaw Nurseries for all your mulch needs. Best quality mulch at the best price. You'll notice our prices are lower than anybody else's. That's because you're buying your mulch straight from where it's made. Convenient delivery or pickup. Lanahaw Nurseries, 192nd and Center.
Baseball season is here for the UNO Mavericks. Single game tickets at Tal Anderson Field start as little as $15 and are on sale now. Go to omavs.com/tickets or call 402-554-6287 to get your tickets now.
Here are your 3 bacon on bacon quarter-pound double cheeseburgers. Enjoy your Sonic.
Dang, son, this bacon is just hanging out of this burger, dog.
That nice, tangy smoked sauce.
The bacon on this burger is just asking me to eat it.
You should oblige.
Bring home the bacon with a Sonic Bacon on Bacon quarter-pound double cheeseburger, stacked with 4 slices of crispy bacon and covered in tangy smoked sauce. Try one half price in the app for a limited time only at Sonic. Exclusions apply. See app for details. Mobile ordering available at select locations.
Searching for your next vehicle? Shop Woodhouse first. Over 1,000 pre-owned vehicles in stock and on our lots, with new trades arriving daily that you can explore on woodhouse.com. Plus, confidence comes standard when you purchase a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV from Woodhouse. With our multi-point inspection, transparent pricing, available add-on warranties, and financing options, purchasing a pre-owned vehicle has never been simpler. Experience the difference and drive away today confident and road-ready in your new vehicle from Woodhouse.
Do you know the common signs of transmission trouble?
Your engine revs before falling into gear, shifting is rough, or you're leaking reddish-brown fluid.
Knowing the signs could mean repair instead of replace.
That's where we come in. We're certified transmission.
The job done right at the right price.
Being in business 100 years can't be easy. Rotella's Bakery is that business. Great family-owned and operated business that understands the needs of the community. They specialize in breads and rolls made from the highest quality ingredients, ensuring that they are superior in taste. At Rotella's, with 5 great generations represented, the American success story is combined with customer satisfaction, and they don't compromise in quality. For more information about their specialty breads, you can visit rotellasbakery.com.
The lowest race of the year at Genesis Health Clubs right now to get us all ready for summer. Hi, I'm Rodney Stephen, owner of Genesis Health Clubs. Summer is literally right around the corner, and there's no better time than the present. Right now at Genesis Health Clubs, we're offering the lowest race of the year so you can get started toward your fitness goals because this summer is yours. Even better, we're waiving enrollment fees and taking $18 off a month for you to start now. But it won't last long. This offer expires at the end of the month, and it will not be extended. This is your last chance to get the lowest race of the year with no enrollment fee. Hurry, just 6 days left. This summer is for you. The benefits of regular exercise are endless. Look better, feel better, have more energy. Are you worth it? Yes. We only get one body. Nothing is more important than our health. The lowest race of the year with no enrollment fee. 6 days left. Join online at GenesisHealthClubs.com before the lowest race of the year are gone forever. Hurry, just 6 days left. Act today. This offer will not be extended.
When cancer hits home, when you need answers and hope, turn to Nebraska Medicine, where cancer care is world-leading and personal. In one visit, you'll meet with the team specializing in your cancer, discover treatments based on your DNA, and the support that makes a difference, like a nurse case manager and multiple locations, so you can always be close to home. For cancer, this is where you begin. Visit nebraskamed.com/cancer.
Home is with you wherever that may be.
Guys, let's face it, there is a time when you just need to get out of the house, to have your own place, to be with the guys, or just a quiet, relaxing place for yourself. Well, Hearth Cigars and Pipes Lounge hears you loud and clear. Settle in. Escape to Hearth Cigars and Pipes Lounge for an incredible selection, plus premium cocktails, a knowledgeable, friendly staff, state-of-the-art humidor, and incredible lounge. Hearth Cigars and Pipes Lounge, just off I-680 at 48th Street, next to Covey's.
Make the right call, fans. The Rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard.
Rooferees. It's unsportsmanlike conduct.
Thick with 2 C's.
On 1620 The Zone.
Is anything worse than that?
No, pretty bad.
Yeah,
pretty bad.
You know, it's a waste of money. It's free. You can go outside and use the sun.
You know, it's not.
We actually have sun today.
You know, it's not bad. That F1 track in Vegas.
It's such a.
It looks
if that's
so cool.
actually what happens, no, you're getting my raw takes right now.
We'll save it for Formula Friday.
That would be the worst track.
I think it looks pretty cool.
It doesn't look fun.
They're going to use a lot of the Vegas Strip. I mean,
It's
they're going
all
to race
DRS.
all the way from the
Doctors?
Wynn down to
No.
the Cos. They're going to race right past the Bellagio fountains.
There's no variety.
Maybe they'll even have a little part of the track that goes through the
So
Bellagio
you could
fountains.
have
maybe
Danny
jump.
Ocean and Company, Ocean's 11.
Ooh,
John,
cool.
Hey, everybody, the
John.
fountains.
Oh, and they should also stop and have to like gamble.
That would be
That's
great.
that's what
hand
a
of
pit
blackjack.
stop is. Am I right?
Hey, Verstappen, you got to play some craps.
John, does Vegas have like elevation on the strip or along? Is there any
No,
kind of
it's
elevation?
flat. It's flat as a coffee
This
table.
is going to be the worst track ever.
Nick, it might not even be the real
I
track.
know, and I hope it's not.
Man, F1 people, very triggered about things.
Very triggered about
It would be so boring.
Jerry wants to know, is Nick using the music from the Twilight movies?
No, I'm using Muse, and then Muse used the song, or the Twilight used a song from Muse.
Okay.
English, please.
Muse is
Muse
a band.
Twilight is a movie based on a book.
And then there's this
I never
famous
saw them, though.
baseball scene in the Twilight movie where they're playing vampire baseball and they use this song.
I never read them or watched them. They were the vampire movies.
The sparkly, glittery vampires and
Cool.
the creepy werewolf.
Yeah.
Hey, remember Anthony, our
Sex haver.
our sex haver,
Yes.
who had sex to the sweet sounds of 1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct, and
absolutely.
then conceived a child.
Yes.
He's on the hotline. Hi, Anthony.
Hey, Anthony.
How's it going?
Good, man. How are you?
Well, the first Grum baby's here.
Hey, congratulations. That's awesome.
What's the deets?
Well, I was very sneaky with the name, and I named him after my favorite Dolphins players ever.
Fins up.
Yeah. My favorite Dolphins players were always defense.
Uh-huh.
So we named him Theo after Taylor, Howard, and Emmanuel Ogba.
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow, that's awesome.
Wow. Congratulations.
And now, ever since he got here, they're spending money like crazy, and we might actually be decent this year.
Yeah, and now there's rumors that you're going to get Tom Brady.
Yeah, you might want to.
Please no.
You might want to change the name on the birth certificate to Tom Brady.
No, not going to happen.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Healthy, I assume. Everyone's doing well.
Well, everyone except for mom and dad.
Because you're not sleeping anymore.
Sleeping.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, that's great. It's great
Congrats,
to hear.
Anthony.
Congratulations on little Theo.
Thank you.
And continued best sex in the Big East.
Yeah. Good luck. In a few months.
Might be a while for that.
Yeah.
Get
Oh
mad at me.
yeah.
That's all right. We'll be here for you when you need us. We'll make sure we're very rhythmic in our speaking.
Okay, yeah. Not for that part. We'll just be here for our takes.
Yeah. Well,
Sounds wonderful.
yes. Anthony, take care. Congratulations.
Thanks, Anthony.
Thank you.
The Grum baby is born. Theo.
Wow.
I like
what
that
a
name.
time to be alive.
That's an awesome name.
One of my dear friends has a young child named Theo. I think
it's a great name.
It's a very good name. Theodore.
It's a really cool name.
It is. We're all big fans of Theo. Just like we're big fans of this track in Las Vegas. Man, it looks so cool. Will they do this race at night?
Yeah, it's going to be a night race.
Nice.
They do it.
That'll look so pretty.
By the way, we were talking earlier in the we'll get to the Deshaun Watson stuff in the next segment.
Yeah.
But Trev Alberts, in addition to discussing, the branding of Nebraska and the field turf and all that other stuff, he did also talk about the beer sales at the Big Ten wrestling tournament.
What did he have to say? We loved it. It was perfect in every way.
They made $350,000 in revenue.
Now
from
that
alcohol sales.
That was gross sales,
That,
right?
Yes. That's not profit. That's the gross number. They sold $350,000 worth of alcohol at the Big Ten wrestling tournament. That was over 2 days.
Now, a serious question for you: is that a lot, a little, an average amount?
I mean, I don't.
Given the size of the arena, given the number of fans that streamed through, I don't know if that's a lot of money or not. It sounds like it is. For a 2-day event, that sounds like a good amount of cash.
Sure.
All right.
It's a start.
But it didn't sound like anyone was chucking beers from the third row.
Nope.
That's good.
No one got hit with any beers.
Mm-hmm.
They also, Trev also mentioned that remember the whole kerfuffle last summer over the NCAA investigation?
I do. I was in Colorado when that went down.
That's kind of flown under the old radar.
Yeah.
Well, they are close to a resolution with the NCAA. Of course, if you had forgotten, and I would understand if you have, because it was a story for about 24 hours and then it just disappeared.
Yes, it was.
This was the improper use of Jonathan Rutledge, the special teams analyst, who was not supposed to be coaching on the field and apparently was coaching on the field. Albert said, we've made a lot of progress with the NCAA. Can't talk much about it, but we're working on a negotiated resolution. I think we're close to the finish line. He says he's proud of our team, proud of Coach Frost, and proud of the collaboration with the NCAA. So there you have it.
All right. Jordan says, Nick's complaining about this track being boring?
Yes, because if you actually watch Formula One, you'll know that there's some tracks that are really fun to watch, and then there's some tracks that are snooze fests. And the ones that are snooze fests are the ones that are completely square and straight. That's why there aren't any.
What if they started at one end of the strip, raced to the other end of the strip,
and then had to do a U-turn,
stopped, chugged a beer,
yes,
and then had to race to the other end of the strip.
Don't
and they
forget
just
about the
kept doing
gambling.
that over and over and over again.
I think that's just drag racing, John. You just want drag racing.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah, but there's the stopping and the drinking of the beer.
That's illegal.
Mm-hmm.
It's perfectly legal. They're all of age.
Well,
and it's Las Vegas. I mean,
a lot
you
of
can
them
drink on the
aren't.
street.
A lot of them aren't of age in the U.S. There's some 18, 19-year-olds in there, John.
Is this true?
20-year-olds?
Good grief!
Mick Schumacher just turned 23.
Well, that's legal.
Well, he's old enough.
He's old enough, but there's there's like 3 other drivers that are under 21.
Steve says, wait a damn minute. Somebody conceived a child while listening to the Grum. What kind of sick twist would do that? I can't even imagine Josh could do it while listening to his own voice. You'd be surprised, Steve.
Yeah, because Josh is the one that's having to convince himself. Oh, Josh, you're so good. You are so good.
Many are saying.
You are so good.
If I have many recordings, many would be saying. Jordan says that's called a DUI, John.
Also, I don't know if I want people driving cars if they're shotgunning beers and these cars are like millions of dollars.
They can afford it.
Well, there's cost caps now,
besides,
John.
the McLaren people will be just fine because their cars apparently don't even
Look
go.
at you, Nick. Won't someone think of the millionaires in their cars? Wow, tough look for you, Nick. Tough look.
Well, speaking of tough looks,
nice.
The owners of the Cleveland Browns have a lot of explaining to do. Well, their newest acquisition got in front of the media for the first time. A little bit of audio, some of the reaction. And one thing that the owners of the Browns said that have a lot of people raising their eyebrows and saying, really? As if they needed any more reason. That's all coming up on this One Beer Friday, and you might as well start sending those pictures in.
Yeah, baby.
Hashtag One Beer Friday. Send them to us in the JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed at USC 1620 because it is time for some One Beer Friday action on 1620 The Zone.
Your home for the college basketball tournament. 1620 The Zone.
Excuse me, Carol?
Hey, Dale. You finished that report I asked for?
Oh, yeah, about that. I didn't get a chance to do it.
No worries. You've been so busy.
Really?
Of course. Dale, you're our hardest worker. You should take an extra week of vacation.
Are you firing me?
No, I promise. Just giving you the break you deserve.
Wow. Thanks, boss. You sure you're not firing me?
Actually, I'm going to promote you. But first, take a week off on the company's dime.
Sometimes things just get better. Like AT&T. We've invested more than $150 million to grow our wireless network coverage to over 99% of Nebraska. So you can talk, text, and share in more places than ever. Visit att.com/Nebraska and learn how to get a free smartphone when you switch to AT&T. Coverage not available everywhere. Over 99% coverage based on third-party data. Network investments based on 2018 through 2020 expenditure.
Pandemic-impacted homeowners may be at risk of losing their homes, which is why the state of Nebraska is providing relief through the Homeowner Assistance Fund. Qualified homeowners can receive up to $30,000 in assistance for past due mortgage payments, past due real estate taxes, HOA dues, and homeowners or flood insurance. Funds will be distributed until they run out, and they do not need to be paid back. View qualifications and apply today at NebraskaHAF.com. That's NebraskaHAF.com.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Are you or someone you know in the construction industry? Have you hit a dead end? Or do you need a new opportunity? You work hard. You want to be treated fairly and paid well. Well, maybe it's time you join a premier, high-quality Omaha construction firm. Prairie Construction of Omaha has 2 sought-after positions available, Field Superintendent and Project Manager. Prairie Construction might be just right for you. Learn more about us at our website, prairie-construction.com.
Do you like to shoot fireworks? Would you like to get paid to shoot fireworks? J&M Displays wants you. Help shoot an Omaha Storm Chasers game, Memorial Park display, or any of the major shows in Western Iowa and all of Nebraska. If you like to travel, J&M covers Nebraska, Kansas, and most of Missouri. They offer free training and great daily pay rates, which makes it a perfect part-time job. Visit jnmdisplays.com and click the Join Our Team tab to find out more. J&M Fireworks.
You can protect yourself against upsets this March, and there have been plenty in the tournament. All you need is bracket parlay insurance with FanDuel Sportsbook. All customers can get up to $25 back each day if your parlay of 3 legs or more falls 1 leg short. You're putting time into which legs you want, and if one has a hiccup, damn, you don't have to worry about it with parlay insurance from FanDuel.
$25 back. That's each day, too. That's all customers. So, listen, get the FanDuel Sportsbook app downloaded. Enter the promo code ZONE. That's the best way to let the magic start happening. There's always odds boost. There's incentives. There's risk freeze. There's even refer a friends if you're already a FanDuel user. There's a reason it's America's #1 sportsbook app. Safe, secure, easy to use.
Check out the tight lines coming up for the rest of the tournament. And if you're new to FanDuel, all you have to do is use our promo code ZONE. Then you can bet the whole bracket all tournament long. That's promo code ZONE on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. 21 over, present Iowa. If exactly one leg loses, refund issued to non-draw site credit that expires in 7 days. NCAA tournament SBK wager required. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Hi guys, it's Andrew with Brookside Medical Clinic. Are you struggling with erectile dysfunction and sick of the pills? Well, we have a major medical advancement that has helped thousands of men. The WAVE technology at Brookside Medical was tested by Cambridge University and the Cleveland Clinic, and the results are in. It's proven to increase blood flow by repairing blood vessels. No pills and no side effects. If you're ready to put a stop to your ED by treating the root cause, call us now, and not only will the assessment and blood flow ultrasound be free, we'll also include something unique that produces immediate results in the bedroom. This is a $600 value, free to those that call in the next 2 minutes. 402-671-7777. That's 402-671-7777. Guys, put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and get your love life back. Call Brookside Medical Clinic now to qualify. 402-671-7777.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct is brought to you by Union Bank and Trust. Now back to the program.
Well, about a week after the blockbuster deal that sent Deshaun Watson from Houston to Cleveland, Cleveland got a chance to meet its quarterback today. Of course, not after a copious amount of takes across the spectrum regarding his signing, even though a Texas grand jury is not going to indict him on the 22 different cases of alleged sexual misconduct and assault. Doesn't mean that civil cases aren't possible and likely will continue to happen. Well, Deshaun Watson was in front of the media today, and this is about a minute and a half long synopsis of some of the things they had to say, and so you'll hear some transitions in between.
So is this just Deshaun?
This is just Deshaun.
Okay.
This is just Deshaun, but here's a snippet of what Deshaun Watson had to say to the folks of Cleveland.
No, definitely. I understand the whole circumstances is very difficult, especially for the women's side of the fans in this community. I'm not naive to that. I know these allegations is very, very serious, but like I've mentioned before, I've never assaulted any woman. I never disrespected any woman. I was raised by a single parent mom who has 2 aunties who's her sister. And that's who raised me. I was raised to be genuine and respect everyone and everything around me. So I've always defended that, and I will continue to stand on that. And I just want the opportunity to be able to show who I really am in the community and be hands-on and help people and serve other people. I don't have a problem. I don't have an issue. And that's what I've been saying from the beginning. So this situation is definitely is tough and is very difficult. But me as a having a problem going to counseling and things like that, I'm willing to talk to people about certain situations to make sure I'm not getting back in this. But like I said before, I never assaulted anyone, never disrespected anyone. I've always been respectful, and that's what I've always stood on, and that's who I am as a person. I mean, I don't have any regrets. Like I said before, the things that are off the field right now that came up, caught me by surprise because I never did anything that these people are alleging. And I know a lot of people say that I took the year off, and I used that to be able to clear my name like the previous 2 weeks and just to continue to fight that. And I just continue to work and become a better person, a better player, and just a better son, like my mom has always taught me.
Settle the 22 civil suits?
That's not my intent. My intent is to continue to clear my name as much as possible, and that's what I'm focused on.
So that was a synopsis of some of what Deshaun Watson had to say today.
All right. So earlier I mentioned, because I thought we were just going to talk about him in particular, because I know we have some other audio coming up.
Well, we
right?
don't have any more audio, but another.
Yeah. But because he apparently claimed that the $230 million fully guaranteed contract was not the reason that he chose the Browns. And he says he didn't even know about the contract offer until he decided on choosing Cleveland. And so I saw that. It's like, come on.
What?
Man. Yeah, exactly. That's not how it works.
First of all, whether you're in trouble or not.
Yes.
You wouldn't have a freaking.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Yeah. Imagine that where you go up and it's like, hey, it's our boss. It's time, John, for you to sign a new contract. And you sign it and you're like, all right, cool. What's the number? That's
Yeah.
not how
No,
that's not how it works.
That's not how this is going to work, because that was the big sticking point prior to all of this blowing up in the first place, because once upon a time, Deshaun Watson was threatening not to play for the Texans because he wanted a new contract.
Yeah, one of my friends, he said something earlier in a conversation, just like, why lie about that? Of all the things to lie about, or all the things that you have done, why is that another thing? If he's lying about the, all these cases, why lie about this? Like, we know it's okay to choose something for money. Like, no one is offended by that. Well, I mean, some people are, I guess, but the majority of us are not going to be offended if you choose a place because they're offering you a lot of money. It's okay.
The problem with the whole money situation is how it is divvied out.
That is definitely a problem. His salary this year is $1 million.
Exactly. His salary this year, the official salary is $1,035,000.
So it's basically $1 million
is his salary.
But what's his signing bonus for this year? Isn't the guaranteed money north of like $40 million for this season?
Yeah, he's got a lot of money coming to him.
Yeah.
It's $45 million for the signing bonus. But any punishment handed down by the NFL,
it's only
including the fines, only come out of a player's salary.
And so they knew what they were doing.
If he gets suspended, let's say for 6 games,
that's quote
his
unquote
fine
only.
would be $345,000 out of his $1.035 million salary for this year.
So that's a good point.
That is 0.7% of the actual money he's getting paid.
Yeah.
Because the money he's actually getting paid, most of it, the lion's share, is signing bonus. Fines do not come out of signing bonuses. That's something that's negotiated in collective
CBA,
bargaining.
yes.
So
you're right. That because I said there's, if you choose a place for money, it's okay. Great point on you. And I'll add in the other thing too that I know made a lot of people uncomfortable is that he has had the number of cases hanging over him for basically a year. It was a year ago this month that all this started happening. And once that they were moving forward essentially, and he wasn't going to get charged, that all these franchises are like, all right, cool, let's make you the highest paid player in the NFL. And it's just like, wow, that just a lot of uncomfortableness in there. But you're right. That they knew what they were doing, making his contract only $1 million, his actual contract, his actual salary.
now at the media session with Deshaun Watson, the team general manager, Kevin Stefanski, the head coach, were there, but the owners, Jimmy and Dee Haslam, were not there, which a lot of people were very upset by. Well, they did their own separate press availability over Zoom. And in that press availability, Jimmy Haslam said that he and his wife involved their daughters in the decision-making process as to whether or not to sign Deshaun Watson. He said he took advice from his wife and his daughters and gave them veto power over the trade. Now, you're probably on the surface, you're saying, oh, well, that's, considering. I mean, he's thinking of the women in his life.
Yeah.
But it's also passing some of the blame on to them.
Yeah.
By saying, oh, but my wife signed off on it.
Yeah.
My daughter signed off on it. So if this thing turns out to be an abysmal failure, well, we're all responsible. His daughters don't own the team. Yeah. He does.
Yeah, and there was a question and answer portion with Jake Trotter, and he's with ESPN, and then Andrew Berry. He is the GM of the Browns. And Trotter asked him, and they had a bit of a back and forth, but he asked him, essentially, did anybody from the Browns or anyone representing the Browns reach out to any of the 2020 or the 22 allegations, the 22 women who made the allegations? And Barry, once again, GM for the Browns, he responded that they did not, and I'm just reading the quote, the reason we did hire independent, or no, let me go back for a moment. Jake, our attorneys advised us that reaching out directly could be considered interfering with a criminal investigation, but that's the reason we did hire independent investigators to make sure that we could get that comprehensive and holistic perspective. So then Trotter followed up. Okay, so did they reach out to the women, these independent investigators? He says I'll say is that we hired the investigators. They were able to get a full perspective. So they didn't speak to him. So Trotter's basically asking, so how are you saying you got the full perspective if they're actually not reaching out to them. And that's been, I know, a sticking point for a lot of people. And I throw myself into this bucket as well, that throughout this process, you heard a lot over the last few weeks. Do our own due diligence. We looked into this, but did you ever reach out to the women themselves? And the answer always comes back to no, or wishy-washy answer like the one that Barry gave today. This is going to be an uncomfortable situation, man.
Very uncomfortable.
I know multiple women in my life that have been sexually assaulted, and I don't know what it is like. And these women fans of football, and it's making them uncomfortable. And in a way, it's like it feels like a slap in the face to them. Their words. And then I think about the Browns fans, the female Browns fans, and then the female Browns fans who have also been sexually assaulted. And that, know the legal system and kind of how it works and the fear that so many women have of even going forward. If you go and you read some of the stories about this, Sports Illustrated, I think it's Jenny Ventura, she put together a piece at some point where, just kind of trying to find out exactly what happened. Well, got in contact with one woman who said essentially all the same things that these cases have said, but this woman never went forward. So it was another woman saying a lot of the same stuff that happened to her, with some evidence in terms of text messages and talking to therapists and stuff like that. But, of course, in a case like this, it is he said, she said, happening in a room. There's not going to be video of it. And so, sadly, nothing can happen, in these types of situations. It's not going to be a fun time, is basically.
Well, and yeah.
It's going to be pretty miserable.
And then you add to that the uncertainty of, well, exactly when is he going to be able to play for us?
Yeah.
Because there's going to be a suspension. And I know there are probably some people who are, especially female fans, who are probably very, the NFL's going to, yawn and stretch over this. They're not going to do more than a slap on the wrist. It would not surprise me if the NFL dropped a much bigger hammer on this than they dropped in any other case previously.
Yeah, the Ray Rice one was the first one and there was a lot of criticism because if I remember right, it was 2 games and then they expanded it. Zeke Elliott got 6.
Right.
And
Zeke Elliott got 6. Roethlisberger got 6 until
they negotiated it.
Yeah, well, it was reduced to 4.
Yeah.
But with so much pending and so many of the different cases out there, it would not surprise me if he got at least a half a season. He might still not play this season.
Yeah.
I would not rule out the possibility. In fact, that was something Florio pointed out on Pro Football Talk, is it's possible that he could be put on the commissioner's exempt list
for the whole year.
For the whole year until these cases are resolved, all 22 of them, which, depending on the case, some of them could be quicker than others, but others could take a long time. And if that's the case, well, you just paid a whole lot of money in signing bonuses for a guy who's not going to play for you at all this year.
Yeah.
Not to mention all the baggage.
I was going to say
that's already out there.
Yeah, and then you also start talking about a player, like just diving into the nitty-gritty footballness of it all. Then you're talking about a player who hasn't been on the field for a couple of years. It's nuts, man.
The more I think about this, the more I think, man, this is a foolish deal.
Yeah.
While, yes, you're getting a really good quarterback, but the baggage attached to this
is it worth it to sell your soul?
Is a cargo plane full of baggage. And it's so messy and it's so problematic. And, maybe 10 years ago, things might be a little different. Not anymore. There are a lot of upset people over this. And it's going to cause a lot of heartache. Not to mention the fact you might be paying for an asset that is no asset to you for at least a year.
Yeah.
If not more. Coming up, we will get off the heavier stuff. The happy hour is coming up, which will include Kent's Movie Club.
Yeah.
And more. It's Unsportsmanlike Conduct on 1620 The Zone.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone. 1620 The Zone. Traffic.
From the Burton AC Heating, Plumbing, and More Time-Saving Traffic Center. Heads up a crash on westbound L Street at 25th, causing delays in that area. Otherwise, delays on West Center Road for both directions between 168th and 175th. Slow going on eastbound Highway 370 between 84th and 72nd. And a little bit of a delay on L Street if you're headed east at 90th. I'm Mike Neville. This time-saving traffic is brought to you by Saul's Jewelry and Loan.
Got something to sell? You could take photos, post an ad to social media, wait for responses, talk to strangers, haggle prices, and meet somebody in a sketchy parking lot. Or you could just come into Saul's Jewelry and Loan. Just walk in and walk out with cash today. Saul's Jewelry and Loan.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Rebuild or reload.
Nemard sprints into the front court, lobs it up, and it goes in!
Settle or soar.
And Alex O'Connell forces a second overtime.
Fold or fight.
Here's Trey, a run to the rim, goes in, one! And one!
The future arrives.
Harper!
The Creighton Blue Jays
have never quit on you!
let it fly.
Jays win! Jays win! Jays win!
College basketball is in full swing and gearing up for the college basketball tournament. Watch it all season long at Oscar's Pizza and Sports Grill. Of course, Oscar's serves great pizza, but don't forget about their award-winning charred buff wings or even their delicious fish and chips. Perfect for Friday nights. Dine in or carry out at 173rd and West Center. Carry out at 162nd and Maple, and order online at oscarsomaha.com.
Hi guys, it's Andrew with Brookside Medical Clinic. Are you struggling with erectile dysfunction and sick of the pills? Well, we have a major medical advancement that has helped thousands of men. The WAVE technology at Brookside Medical was tested by Cambridge University and the Cleveland Clinic, and the results are in. It's proven to increase blood flow by repairing blood vessels. No pills and no side effects. If you're ready to put a stop to your ED by treating the root cause, call us now, and not only will the assessment and blood flow ultrasound be free, we'll also include something unique that produces immediate results in the bedroom. This is a $600 value, free to those that call in the next 2 minutes. 402-671-7777. That's 402-671-7777. Guys, put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and get your love life back. Call Brookside Medical Clinic now to qualify. 402-671-7777.
Hey guys, spring is here and the honeydew list has begun. If you're getting ready to clean up your yard, Lanahaw is your one stop for all landscape needs. Buy your mulch at Lanahaw Nurseries. Best quality at the best price. Convenient delivery or pickup. Lanahaw Nurseries, 192nd and Center.
Shop Woodhouse Place Hyundai and Nissan, 144th and Giles. KOZN, Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs.
I drank beer with my friends. Sometimes I had too many beers. I liked beer. I still like beer. Had beers, have some beers. One beer, drink beer, drinks beer, drank beer, and drinking beer. Upstairs, downstairs, where was it? I don't know, but I had one beer. Friday!
We probably have Beer Center each week. Ralph Club, biggest contributor.
Beer. I like beer. I don't know if you like Beer Center or not. What do you like to drink?
Next
I had one beer. Friday. Hanging out and having some beers with friends, which I gladly do and which I fully embrace. Well, you think it was... Nope, it was one beer. Friday.
It is a One Beer Friday. Great to have you with us, and it's great to be back in studio for a One Beer Friday. Actually, great to be participating in a One Beer Friday. I haven't had a chance to do this for a couple of weeks.
Josh and I turned Sip into a beer guy.
Did we?
Yeah,
Oh,
remember?
yeah.
Really?
He tried Spotted Cow.
It was.
And he wouldn't shut up about it.
Good.
I forgot to give it to him last Tuesday when he came in. Yeah, I do think I got Sip sick.
We have from Golden Road Brewing in Los Angeles, home of your world champion Los Angeles Rams, the Mango Cart Wheat Ale.
Nice.
There's a lot of summer style beers. You're starting to see the summer shandies, other people doing their version of summer style beers. I saw a lot of them on the shelf today.
Nice.
And I saw this one, and of course it was bright, beautiful
yellow
and orange, a yellowish orange.
I like that.
It does look like summer on the can.
It tastes like summer.
I'm not a big fan of mango, like the actual fruit.
Wow.
Not a fan of mango. I'm not a fan of passion fruit.
You should
just
try.
not my.
I like it.
It's just a lot.
You should try mango and tahini.
What's that?
Tahini, it's like a spice. You put it on the mango. Tastes real good.
But I like this.
This is good.
This is good.
This is
Sometimes I
good.
like fake fruit flavors versus like the actual fruit themselves. Like I like watermelon candy more than I like watermelon.
Same here.
Yeah,
of course, I hate watermelon.
You despise watermelon.
But like watermelon Jolly Ranchers.
Oh, yes.
are-
Do you
are
really hate
good.
watermelon?
It's gross.
Can't stand it.
I don't hate it like I just think it doesn't have a lot of flavor.
It just melon.
Yeah, you don't like cantaloupe either.
I don't like any
That's
kind of
my
melon.
favorite fruit.
I love cantaloupe.
My favorite fruit is cantaloupe.
I
Mine
think something
straws.
happened when I was little.
Bloobs are a close second. Did you get
Something-
traumatized by watermelon?
I don't know, but something happened when I was little that made me gag on melon or something. It's just
Did a
the-
guy say like we put this watch inside of a watermelon? You're like, no.
No, the
Because-
watermelon was
because
the watch.
there's I don't know many people that dislike melon as much as I do.
I don't know
in fact,
anybody who
I
does.
insist.
I know a lot of people who hate cantaloupe specifically. No other melon, but
Right.
they hate
I'm
cantaloupe.
out on all kinds of melon.
the consistency?
Where I insist that if we have fruit salad in our house,
yummy.
the wife will actually make one without melon in it and the other one with.
A specific fruit salad for John.
That's right. You don't need to ruin fruit salad with that disgusting crap.
That's such a weird take.
No, it's not. It's disgusting.
I've just never met anybody who hated watermelon. This is new for me. You hate watermelon too?
I just said that. Yeah,
I didn't hear that.
Doesn't
I'm
have
sorry.
enough flavor.
Wow. You
Go
guys are
tweet it. Go
weird.
tweet it out. Be like, hey, did any of you hate watermelon? You'll get some responses. That's how it works, Nick. Sometimes people like things. Sometimes people dislike things.
It's weird that I've never met anybody, but now I work with two somebodies that do. Interesting.
Stacy, here you go. And here's the third one. I strongly dislike pretty much all melon. I can't name a melon I'll eat. There you go. Wow. Salesperson Stacy in the building.
Yeah, I won't touch stuff. Yeah. But anyway, Golden Road Mango Cart Wheat Ale. Very good.
Yeah, good job, John. All right, here's another tweet
Thank
for
you,
you,
John.
Nick. Rob Sims. I dislike all melons as well.
Why did people? What's with all these anti-melon takes?
I don't know.
What did melon
Now,
do to
if
you
I
people?
can just bring more people over to the anti-slime, then
It's you and Drew McGarry on that island hanging out together.
oh, there's many more people that dislike
There are
slime.
dozens
It's
of
just
you.
They have been scared into hiding because of
Oh.
the mayo Nazis that are out there.
Wow. What, mayo Nazis.
Wow.
I had a sandwich today. There was mayonnaise on it. delicious.
Hey, me too.
Though they didn't put the oil and vinegar on it. Now that I realize it,
And again,
it
why
was
do
a
you
little
need the
too
mayo on it if
dry.
you're putting the oil and vinegar
Because I
on
like
it?
the flavor.
There's
of
no
the-
flavor.
Bad take, John.
There
The
is
worst
no
take.
flavor.
Have you ever-
You would not know. I swear to you, would not notice if you did. You would
You
not
do
notice
notice.
it.
It's so much drier.
I forgot.
No, if you have oil and vinegar, it's not dry.
John, you know how it is. You're a father of two. Don't want it to be dry, my man. You don't want it to be dry.
If you're putting oil and vinegar, it's not going to be dry.
I like it a little extra moist, if you will.
Then it slides all over the place and stuff's falling out of the seam.
And
Not
yet
if
you're
you
the one
hold
who
the
likes
sandwich.
Yeah, you just hold it, John. You
Just hold it.
Hold it, eat it.
Use your hands and
It's
eat.
ridiculous.
And-
You're wasting calories.
Wait,
How are you wasting
John,
calories?
I run 1,000,000 miles. I'm fine. I can eat. I'm good. to go.
Brag much? And no, it's
Pretty
fast
cool,
walking.
man. That's the best
It's
part
it's
about
fast
running.
walking.
I can eat everything now. It's great.
Also,
I can
people,
eat tasteless stuff that does nothing for me.
there are a lot
Bad
of
take.
people into dad bod, so I'm set too.
There you go. Nick's doing a good job. Sam says salt on watermelon is amazing. One of my
It is.
uncles did that. I remember this at like a grad party close to a decade ago, and he's pouring salt on his watermelon. And I'm like, what the hell is this?
Sweet and savory, Josh.
You know how I feel about the sweet and savory.
Salt and tomatoes.
I don't
also
know.
good.
good.
I
Like
don't
it.
think that's as much sweet and savory. I understand it helps bring some of the flavor out of the melon when you
Mhm.
put salt on it.
But it
what
is
I've been
also
told.
sweet and savory.
Yeah.
There's some savoriness there.
I want the savory. I want the sweet separate.
Watermelon's nice, back home, 4th of
Just
July.
not enough flavor. That's the
Chomp
problem.
into it.
That's the problem with watermelon.
Spitting
Now,
seeds.
I do love cantaloupe. I know you're not a fan.
Yeah.
I do. I love cantaloupe, especially when you get a cantaloupe that just is loaded with the flavor of cantaloupe. And I like blueberries too, like Nick does. The problem is I like them more tart. And so I don't know if there's a store that has like the more tart blueberries versus the sweeter ones. You just kind of get lucky. It's like luck of the draw. It seems like, at least for me. I like them a little more tart though.
Yeah, I don't see a lot of uber sweet blueberries out there.
Andy says, when your sandwich is dry, have you tried spitting on it? Thank you. I'm happy. Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Would you like a stat that will probably not blow your mind because it seems like we have these all the time?
Yeah, definitely.
In the past decade, Duke football
Oh no, I saw this stat.
has won the same amount of
Coach
games
K.
as Nebraska and Tennessee.
This is just...
How's that make you feel?
Well, the thing is, Duke hasn't even been like that great.
No.
They've been now. I do know that they made a conference championship game. I believe they played Florida State in a conference championship game within the last decade, like one of the Jameis years. But it's not like they have been really, really good all the time. Last year they were 3-9. The year before that they were 2-9. The year before that they were 5-7. Then they have some above 500 seasons, and that's the reason why. Is because they have more above 500 seasons.
Yeah, their best record is 10-4.
Yeah, which is also Nebraska's best record in that time frame, I would imagine, right? Like 2012. It's the last time they won 10 games.
Scary thing is when you look at the decade before that, their best record was 5-7, including a 1-11, an 0-12, a 1-10. I mean, they were really bad. Really, really bad. But yes,
that is a stat.
Duke has as many wins in the last decade as Nebraska and Tennessee do.
Crazy.
62 wins.
Back to watermelons. Yachty says, I enjoy pepper on cantaloupe and salt on watermelon.
I've never had pepper on cantaloupe, but I want to try.
Pepper,
Tahini
yeah.
is also really good on cantaloupe. Tahini's an all-arounder spice.
Jeff says, when my taco is dry, I spit on it. There you go. People just spitting all over their
Oh,
food.
no.
That's nice. Tweeting from 30,000 feet says, what if you spiked a watermelon with watermelon-flavored vodka? Not a fan of vodka. I'm out on the vodka.
Yo, dog, I heard you like watermelon.
That would be
Put
interesting.
watermelon in your
watermelon.
watermelon. Yeah.
I know there's that thing where you drill a hole in the watermelon, you pour vodka in it.
Yes, I've seen this and heard about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently the
Just
kids really
soak some
enjoy
gummy bears in the vodka.
I've heard about this. Also, they have apparently, John, get ready for some sad news. The Outback Bowl is dead.
What?
It is now the Tampa Bay Bowl.
So they lost their sponsorship.
No more bloomin' onions at the Outback Bowl.
They lost their sponsorship.
Yeah.
Crikey.
That's kind of surprising.
Yeah.
Because that was good branding for the
Are
old
people
Outback Bowl.
supporting local a little too much now for the Outback? Yeah. It is indeed a sad sports flash for those of you who like Outback. It's the first
I mean,
place I ever worked. The first job was at the Outback.
Okay, for the
got fired.
mass chain, sit down restaurants.
You can do a lot worse than Outback.
Yes.
I like their fillets, but I don't like their normal steaks. They're too charred.
And a lot of seasoning.
There's a lot of seasoning.
There is a lot of seasoning. Texas Roadhouse does okay as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Mainly because of the rolls.
I like
the cinnamon with the cinnamon sugar butter.
The baked taters are also good.
Jacob says, I had a bacon-wrapped watermelon once. It was interesting.
Excuse me.
Yeah, that's a bit much.
Oh, that reminds me. I was told I need to try this with my smoker. Bacon wrapped Oreos.
Interesting.
Oh,
that is some sweet and savory.
I was told
Sounds
that
like some garbage.
I was told that was really good.
If you do it, John, taste test Wednesday. We should bring it back.
Well,
Interesting idea, Nick.
it is an interesting idea.
So there you go. That Duke stat, unreal.
Yeah, no, it is. It is unreal. Did have someone tweeting at us, attaching us to a conversation.
Oh, fun.
Well, this is fun. This is a fun conversation. This is from Derek, who tagged us, and he was in a conversation about how cool a night spring game would be.
Oh, that would be the coolest.
That they could, fire up the light show again.
Oh, man, tailgating all day.
And do it for the recruits.
Tailgating in the snow.
And Derek said, would love to hear John and Josh debate this if they haven't already. LOL.
LOL. We have debated it before.
We have. Listen, it's all for show anyway.
Yep.
I think the only thing that would be standing in the way would be weather. If you did it later in the spring.
Oh, where you guarantee or at
where
least
you have a better chance of having better weather, then I don't see an issue with it.
Yep.
But it can be a crapshoot if you do these early mid-April spring games, because here in the upper Midwest, things are still transitioning over from winter, and you can get these, non-nice days. But I'm not against it, because listen, the whole thing is a dog and pony show anyway. It's your exhibition. If you want to do it, go for it. And if it helps with recruiting or just helps with the overall atmosphere or a fun, lighthearted way to end spring football, no sweat off my back.
Wow. Look at you. You've turned over a new leaf.
Well, I just don't need every regular game that actually matters being at night. But a soap scrimmage? Hell, play the damn thing at 2 a.m. I don't care.
Like you said, this is for recruiting. That is what the spring game has turned into. That is its purpose, is to have fans come in. And
it's
watch.
a fan fest, and it's a recruiting thing. That's what it is.
So how would that matter?
It does not serve a practical function as much anymore for the football team.
Yeah, so, if you just look at it from that perspective, where would it be best to do it? Probably at night, because you really could. You could do the light show. You could have a whole lot of fun with the players and with the recruits.
So there you go, Derek. We've debated it.
Boom.
We're
in
unanimous agreement.
More night games.
Well, coming up next, it is time for the movie club. Yes, movie club got moved back today,
folks.
But we are going to review. Gosh darn, this thing's almost 30 years old.
Dude, 94. Oh, my gosh.
1994.
The passage of time. I'm not a fan.
Cinematic classic, Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
And we'll get some Oscar predictions from our own Kent Wolgamont of the Lincoln Journal-Star. Yes, the movie club returns on a One Beer Friday on 1620 The Zone.
Zone, taste of our takes. Sharp and Betting in the Morning.
Omaha baseball coach Evan Porter joining us on Sharp and Betting in the Morning.
It's just wonderful what he's doing. And all three of us, between Brian and Peyton and myself, played here. So we truly do love UNO and Omaha. And we are completely invested in this program and university. And we want to see this thing go as far as it can.
For more, tune in every day to 1620 a.m. or go to 1620thezone.com. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Looks like mainly clear skies tonight, but a few clouds moving in later on. A low of 29 tomorrow, partly cloudy, a little breezy, and a high of 48. And on Sunday, mostly cloudy skies early, becoming partly cloudy later in the day, and a high of 45.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct, brought to you by a great friend of the program, Union Bank and Trust.
1620 The Zone. Traffic.
From the Burton AC Heating, Plumbing, and More Time-Saving Traffic Center. Heads up, a crash on westbound L Street at 25th causing delays in that area. Otherwise, delays on West Center Road for both directions between 168th and 175th. Slow going on eastbound Highway 370 between 84th and 72nd. And a little bit of a delay on L Street if you're headed east at 90th. I'm Mike Neville. This time-saving traffic is brought to you by Saul's Jewelry and Loan.
Really need a loan? You could ask your father-in-law. Okay, maybe not. There's no easier way to get a loan right now than Saul's Jewelry and Loan. Loans from $10,000 to $100,000. No credit check, no hassle. Loans made easy at Saul's Jewelry and Loan.
Experience the difference at Woodhouse Buick GMC. Discover the all-new 2022 GMC Terrain with 3 distinct trim lines to choose from. There's a Terrain for any driver. Plus, safety and capability come standard in the Terrain lineup so you can conquer the road with confidence. Shop our indoor showroom or purchase online at WoodhouseBuickGMC.com. Woodhouse Buick GMC. We are professional grade.
When I need a new furnace or AC, I choose a company that provides solutions that meet my needs and budget.
When my furnace or AC needs repairs, I call a company with reliable technicians, not commissioned salespeople.
When I need a straight answer, I choose a company that is honest and has integrity.
At Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, we provide the best solutions for your needs and budget. It's just part of
the way we do the things we do.
Carrier, turn to the experts.
Finally venturing out? Stop by Cops Pizza, 72nd and Jones of the Shadow Lake Town Center to grab a bite, have a beverage, and watch the game. Cops Pizza makes delicious pizza, fresh salads, and tasty charred wings with a variety of homemade sauces. They even offer keto crusts. Or try a cream cheese pizza sauce. Dine in, carry out, or delivery. Cops Pizza, 72nd and Jones, and the Shadow Lake Town Center. Or click copspizza.com to see their extensive Shadow Lake menu, pizza, and so much more.
History can be made by chance, made by others, or made by
It's the Hawkeye transfer!
you.
Jim Flannery was screaming for that play from the bench.
Creighton women's basketball.
Creighton has pulled off the stunning upset!
Making history, one sweet shot at a time.
On to the Sweet 16 for the first time!
CM's Outdoor, now a proud part of Ryan Lawn and Tree. For a limited time, get your first lawn or pest application for free. Schedule a free estimate at bestomahala.lawn.com. That's bestomahala.lawn.com.
It's unsportsmanlike conduct.
Basically, I can't dumb down my brain enough to figure it out.
The 1620. The Zone.
Friday, the final day of the week. These are the voyages of the program Unsportsmanlike Conduct. Its ongoing mission to explore strange new movies, to seek out new bits and new edification, to boldly go where no radio program has gone before. Elkins Movie Club. It's Elkins Movie Club. Elkins Movie Club. It's Elkins Movie Club.
It is time for the movie club, and there he is. Kent, welcome on to the Lincoln Journal-Star. Kent, it has been a while since we've had a chance to chat. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Good. Fantastic. Great. Well, we are going. We picked this one a while ago.
It's been a few weeks.
But
this always seems to happen with me where I'm like, hey, here's our movie. We'll talk to you in a month.
Yeah, awfully convenient, Josh.
Yeah, well, I do what
it's
I
like
can.
You looked at the calendar and plotted it out.
Hey, John's the one who skipped out on the show a couple of weeks ago.
Well, I had basketball to cover. I had a lot of games.
So we decided I chose this movie because I knew John hadn't seen it, and I wanted him to watch it, and I liked Pulp Fiction. So we did Pulp Fiction. Do we need to explain Pulp Fiction? I mean,
Well, first of all, if we try to explain, it can be a little confusing.
It
But
can, it jumps back. It's a. You said it a couple minutes ago. It's a cinematic classic. It's a great movie. You know, there you go. It's Pulp Fiction. I'm excited to hear what you had to say or what you have to say about it. Ken, I don't know about you. I loved rewatching it. I've always liked this movie, and yet there are some things that I just kind of forget about. You know, when I avoid it for a few years, and I'm like, oh, that's right. There's that scene, and then there's that scene, and it just is like that. There are very little slow parts in this movie.
You know what's kind of interesting to me is, and while I hadn't seen the entire movie, I had, we'd obviously played a lot of bits during the old movie Magic game, and I'd seen clips and stuff. A lot of that comes from the beginning of the movie, but there wasn't a lot from the middle to the end of the movie that
it's like quotable.
That is as quotable, even though it's all part and parcel of the same film. So it was kind of interesting because it went differently than I thought it was going to, because I kind of thought I had at least an idea of what I was going to get into.
Yeah.
But it was different than I anticipated it being, which made it even more enjoyable for me to watch.
Good.
Because it wasn't as predictable, which, I mean, with a Tarantino movie, you should never expect anything to be predictable, but it was truly unpredictable for me. And that was one of the things I enjoyed about it, Ken.
And part of that is because of the structure, because even though your quotable things came from the early part of when you were watching the movie, that's not the first part of the story, right?
Yeah.
Because it folds back in on itself and doesn't have a, direct straight through narrative, which is, that was part of the reason that it was so widely praised, because he managed to do this. Because otherwise, if you think about it, if you told the story in a straight fashion, it would have kind of been kind of predictable in a way.
Yeah. Keep going, Ken.
Because it went back on itself. You never quite knew what was going on until the last, what would you say, 30 minutes, maybe? You figured out what was going on?
Exactly.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, it kind of played a little bit like a Seinfeld episode where everything ties back up at the end, but this again is not told linearly. As a Seinfeld episode is.
Yeah.
But I actually enjoyed that part of it, because sometimes when you make a movie like this, it can be a little disjointed and confusing. This didn't have that, because as soon as you recognized, and it was kind of a funny aha moment for me when the final scene ends up in the diner,
which is how it started,
and I realized, duh, of course it's going to be back in the diner, because it's all got to tie back, because you see the Tim Roth character at the very beginning. You don't see him again until the very end, and of course, it was like I had a V8 moment. You just like slap your forehead and go, of course it's going to end here.
One of the things, Kent, that I noticed on this rewatch that I don't think I'd noticed before, in the first scene at the diner, very faintly, you can hear a little bit of dialogue between Sam Jackson and John Travolta. Just faintly.
Oh.
Maybe I was just
No,
listening.
it's there. You got it. It's
I'm
absolutely there.
Yeah, and so that I found that really interesting. And once again, this is almost a 30-year-old movie, so I'm going to spoil something. But the movie would not have worked as well if Vincent Vega ends up dying later instead of in the middle of the movie, because the way it ends is it's like a perfect coda to everything, where it's like, all right, I guess we should get out of here now. And they put the guns in their pants and they head out. It's just like, and then I love too, Kent, the tying back of everything, where it's like, oh, that's why they were wearing weird, goofy clothes, a half hour into the movie. Why did they have t-shirts and shorts on? And then you find out why, because
then you find out there was a car full of blood.
That scene gets me every
That's
single
such
time.
a funny scene.
Oh man.
This movie was the first rated R movie that I
watched. Wow.
Oh my.
I went out of my way to
awesome.
watch. So my dad would go to work, I'd have summers, I'd be by myself. I lived in the middle of nowhere, so I would just dig through my dad's movie collection. Landed on Pulp Fiction, and I'm like, all right, let's see how this goes.
Wow. What a first movie.
I bet that was some culture shock.
It was amazing.
You could have picked Risky Business. That might have been a little easier.
I never told my dad that I had seen it, though. So there was one day where he's like, I think you're ready to watch Pulp Fiction because it's one of his favorite movies
Oh,
ever.
Yeah.
But that was my introduction to Pulp Fiction and Quentin Tarantino.
Wow. Speaking of QT, we did Reservoir Dogs, right, in the movie
Yes,
club?
we've done Reservoir.
Okay, so when we did that, if I remember right, we kind of talked about like Quentin Tarantino and some of the hype surrounding him. What do you remember about the lead up to this movie? Because, for everything that movie was, and it's a good movie, like this one is like the true announcement of like, I am Quentin Tarantino and I am here to stay.
Here is precisely what I remember, and it tells you everything about the expectation for it and the hype. We used to, if you've been to Lincoln, if you remember the Stewart Theater, which is now the Rococo.
Yep.
When it was the Stewart and a movie theater, we had a little 20-seat, maybe, screening room upstairs, way up. And that's where we watched all the movies. And it was like watching a movie on, people that have the real big TVs at home. It was about the same size as our screen, but it had the good sound and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, for Pulp Fiction, we watched it down in the big auditorium.
Whoa.
Which would have been a lot
we
better.
never did that.
Yeah, the old Stewart Auditorium. Stewart was just a classic old movie theater. I loved going to the Stewart because it was
and
classic.
That's the level of sort of hype that this thing came to by the time it got to Lincoln, right? Because it built and built and built. I believe it was one of those, I don't know if it was Sundance or Cannes or one of the film festivals where it really took off. Right?
Is it Cannes? Is that what it Cannes Film Festival? Is that how it's, yeah, so it looks like that's where it premiered.
Yeah. And that's where it really, got, this is it. And once that happened, zoom.
Yeah.
One interesting thing, I guess, about Reservoir Dogs, Michael Madsen, who was essentially the biggest star of Reservoir Dogs, Tarantino wanted him to play Vincent Vega. He was in Wyatt Earp with the Kevin Costner Wyatt Earp movie.
Yes.
Turned down Pulp Fiction. Oops.
Oh, no.
Wow.
No.
Because if you think about it, and Michael Madsen's had a decent career, but
he's been in a few more of his.
Obviously, Travolta's a bigger name than. And I'm not saying this movie necessarily made Travolta because
it absolutely did. It absolutely
reinvigorated his career.
Had he not done this movie, he'd still be the sweat hog and the guy from Grease.
Okay.
The guy from Welcome Back, Kotter.
Yes.
So Michael Madsen could have had an entirely different career arc if he had not done Wyatt Earp, which I like Wyatt Earp.
Yeah.
But
it's a good movie, but it isn't this.
Yeah, but a lot more people like
Dances with Wolves?
No. The other one about the Earps.
Oh, I never.
I'm forgetting the name, Kent. The classic Western from that same time period.
The Tombstone?
Tombstone,
yeah.
There's a lot more people that think Tombstone's a much better movie than Wyatt Earp.
I know a lot more people that like Tombstone better.
Oh, yeah. I know very few people that like Wyatt Earp better than Tombstone.
I don't know if anybody else besides John Travolta could have pulled off that character. I'm not as familiar with Madsen's work, but I think
I could see it because Madsen does play a tough guy in a lot of films.
Well, and they have the same last name. Like Tarantino's talked about like writing a movie for those two because they're brothers. They're the Vega brothers. You got Vincent and you got Vic. And so he's like toyed around with that. He probably has a script about it somewhere.
But, you talk about a film that just absolutely, that when I think of John Travolta in movies, this is the movie I think of. Right. Even though I had never seen it until the other night.
This is the first thing I think.
But since then he's had a decent career,
And it launched Sam Jackson.
Exactly. And Uma Thurman.
And Uma, I have had I know Uma's parents. Okay. So I've had some contact with Uma over the years, and she deliberately didn't try to cash in on that and play in the big budget movies right afterwards. She waited 2 or 3 years because she didn't want to get typecast as that
Interesting.
Smart career
That is
choice.
smart.
Character. Yeah. The other interesting thing about, and she didn't tell me this, but I have learned this later. If you pay attention to what she says when she and Travolta are in the Coyote Jacks or whatever the name of it is,
Diner, yeah.
she lays out the plot of Kill Bill.
She does?
Yep. The story she's telling him
is it the ketchup
is at least the framework for Kill Bill, and Tarantino worked that into this movie.
Amazing. Amazing.
That's insane.
That is
Only
hilarious.
Tarantino would put Easter eggs to something that hasn't released yet.
That's like a decade away still.
To a story that he's
my
about to tell
God.
later, and it will star the same person. That's the other thing about it too. I mean, she's basically in the middle of the film for
what, a half hour, 45
20 minutes, 25 minutes,
maybe
no more than a half hour, and yet it made her career.
And in a movie camp full of memorable scenes, when I was watching it the other night, when they start dancing, like I was just thinking, man, there are very few directors that could do something like this. Like it was just it's just so cool, and they pulled that off very, very well. And like, there's probably more memorable scenes, but for some reason that scene hit me this time as like, man, this is really good.
The dance scene's iconic. There might be more memorable scenes, but that's an iconic scene.
Yeah,
it is, because anytime you would see, whether it's anytime they do like movie montages or something at the Academy Awards, you always see the scene of her and Travolta doing the hands across the face while they're doing the twist.
Well,
you always see that.
Hell, Josh, you're not going to get this, but there's a Fall Out Boy song called Uma Thurman.
I know that song.
Oh, hey, nice.
Yeah, of course.
It's based off of that scene, obviously, and then the
Right.
video is even alludes to.
Now, we've already made reference to this scene a couple of times in the movie, but honestly, it's my favorite part because A, Christopher Walken is tremendous in anything he's in, but B, just the casual way. And again, he only is in the film for like 5 minutes.
So fun.
And he's telling the story to Bruce Willis's child character.
Yeah, Bruce Willis is a kid.
About how this watch
Kid
was
Willis.
his great grandfather's and his grandfather's.
And it starts so serious.
It starts so serious. In the casual way, he just says, and he pulls this watch out of his ass. I am dying. I'm just like, this is great.
So funny.
This is so great. But that's probably my favorite scene in the film.
Yeah, what's your favorite scene, Kent?
I don't know if it's one scene, but Harvey Keitel as the cleaner is amusing from the time he hits the screen until it's over.
When he asks Travolta or Quentin Tarantino's character, when he calls him up, he's like, "Hey, come over here." And so he shows up at the car, and I think he's ready to like clean. He's like, "I smell some coffee. Could you get me a cup?" And I was laughing so hard. That's, I think, one of the things, Kent, and I know people have talked about this before, that this movie shows all these bad guys talking about normal things. It always just hits me in the funny bone. Like the Royale with cheese thing, like that whole conversation is just great. The burger, it's just the dialogue in this movie is ridiculous.
I think
it's so good.
It's something with the contrast of it's these normal everyday conversations, but then there's blood and guts all over the interior of your car.
These people are essentially going out there collecting debts and whacking people. And obviously, we've spoiled a lot anyway. The other thing I liked about it was
it's a 30-year-old movie. We're not spoiling it.
Yeah, exactly. But
you're the only person in the world who hasn't seen it before now.
But the way that they off Travolta, I thought was brilliant.
Yep.
Because so often when a major character dies in a movie, it's got to be over the top. It's got to be dramatic. It's got to have something to it. And it's just very simply, he walks out of the crapper. Bruce Willis has his gun in his hand. Pop, 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 pop. Kills him. He's dead. That's it. Nothing more dramatic than that. It's just very casual. Hey, you're in my house. I pop you. You're dead. You're done.
That blew my mind as a kid, too. When I watched that, I'm like, did they just...
And they did.
Yeah.
And then there was nothing. It wasn't like grand or whatever. It was just
nothing. It was just.
And then they zoom in on him. He looks like crap on the, in the
exactly.
bathroom.
Yeah, it's just it's a very casual way of going about it, and dare I say, even in a film as over the top sometimes as this one can be, it's like normal, right? You know, that's probably the way that scene would have played out in real life.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed it. It was tremendous. I still, again, it came out during a period of my life where I just did not see a lot of movies. And then later, when it was on cable a lot, like HBO, I didn't have HBO at the time. So it kind of fell in that magic period in my life where I just didn't see a lot of movies, and it just always fell under the radar and never bothered to go out of my way to see it. Glad you chose it.
Yeah.
Enjoyable. I will say this, though, before we get to some Oscars selections there, Kent, I still think Inglourious Bastards is my favorite.
So good.
That's my favorite Tarantino. This one would slot in behind that. I like Inglourious Bastards a lot.
I do. So I was actually just about to say something along those lines because I don't watch Pulp Fiction as much as I watch some of his other movies. But then I watch this and I'm like, man, is this my favorite? I think Inglourious Bastards is my favorite. It's almost like him at the peak of his powers. And he just really has a handle on everything. And the dialogue in that movie is great. And it's very funny. But man, this movie is also awesome.
It is.
I love Quentin Tarantino. He makes some of my favorite stuff.
And I know we talked about this.
He claims he's only going to ever make 10 movies.
I'm going to be so mad if he only has one more, man. I'm going to be so bummed because I don't remember what you thought, Ken. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I rewatch that probably like once every 6 months. I think that movie is great.
Yeah, I really like that one, and actually I liked Reservoir Dogs when it came out. That would be one I would put up real high. Well,
have we heard anything about if this is his last movie?
What it'll be?
What do we have any idea? Has there been any talk of when it would happen, or what it's about, or who's in it?
Not that I know of. There was talk when Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, like 3 years old.
3 years
now?
old.
2019 now, yeah.
3 years old.
Wow.
It was when that movie came out. That was when, because he said he was only going to make 10 movies years and years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And when that came out, everybody went, "Oh, it's 9." And they were asking him, and he's like, yeah, still get it right. Who knows whether he will or not?
Yeah.
I bet it has Sam Jackson and Uma Thurman.
You're probably right. Well, as I mentioned earlier, Kent, we batted 500 this year.
Yeah, I didn't realize
the Best Picture nominees, of which there are now 10 instead of the usual, used to be 5 back in the day. But we saw 5 of these in the movie club. We just saw Nightmare Alley. Don't Look Up was a few months ago.
Yep.
We saw Dune at the beginning of the year, Power of the Dog recently, and King Richard within the last 4 to 5 months.
Mm-hmm.
So we've seen half of the Best Picture nominees. The ones we didn't see were
Coda,
Belfast, Coda, Licorice Pizza, which just sounds disgusting, and West Side Story.
And there was one more.
My Car.
My Car,
yeah, which is on HBO Max. I plan on watching it at some point. Yeah.
And Coda is on
Apple.
It's Apple. And if you're getting me to do a pick for Best Picture, I'm about to do the old. Okay, here's what the way you kind of figure out who's in front in these things is to look at the other awards and stuff that have come through. And The Power of the Dog was the first, it was the odds-on favorite when the thing began. But the last couple weeks, Coda has won the Producers Guild a Best Picture, and the Screen Actors Guild has a thing that they call Ensemble Cast or something, which is essentially their Best Picture. Coda won both of those. So it's pretty much a consensus that it's a 2-horse race there between Coda and The Power of the Dog. When I did my picks that ran in the paper this morning, I said Power of the Dog by this much.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason for that is because they now have 10 movies, if a movie doesn't get over 50% of the vote for first, they rank them, right?
Ranked choice voting.
And so then it would go to second. and Coda could pass it with the second place votes.
Yeah, and Kent, didn't one of the ones that you just mentioned, I heard something this week, one of those also does ranked choice voting, and so that's been tipping a lot of people off that they think that Coda could win.
Yep.
Because it can pick up a lot of second and third place votes, but that could be enough to have it pass it.
What would be your pick if it's just the
If I voted, and the way I write it is if I had a vote,
Yep.
and I would have voted for Power of the Dog.
Okay.
I think I would agree. Of the 5 we saw, of which Power of the Dog was one, I would also say the Power of the Dog was.
That was such a good movie.
Of those 5 was my favorite. I liked them all. Of the 5 we saw, well, I didn't see Dune. I guess I didn't.
Yeah, you didn't see Dune.
Of the 4 I saw, I would say that Power of the Dog was my favorite.
I like Don't Look Up the most of those 5.
I think I like Power of the Dog the best.
Best actor, is this finally it for Will Smith? Does he finally get it?
Yeah. Yep, King Richard. Best actress, you probably will not have seen, because I think Jessica Chastain will win that for, she plays Tammy Faye Baker over 4 decades in The Eyes of Tammy Faye. She's very good. And one of the things that happens with the Oscars a lot of times is somebody that's been nominated before that probably should have won before, you get a makeup shot. Well, Jessica Chastain should have won for The Hurt Locker.
Oh, yeah. Over a decade ago now.
Yeah, but she didn't. So
it's
here
her
we go.
time.
Okay.
So I think she'll win. Best supporting actress is going to go to is it Maria DeBose from West Side Story.
Okay.
And once again, this one is typical Oscar voting. Those supporting actress category in particular gets awarded to newcomers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this happens to be a newcomer in a remake of a Hollywood classic directed by Steven Spielberg. And it's probably the only award that West Side Story is going to get. So there you go. Or the major ones. And then supporting actor, this is the lock. Troy Kotsur for Coda.
Okay.
He's great. He's funny. He's deaf. And he's the center of that movie. And he's the lock. And the best director is Jane Campion for Power of the Dog, in part because the Coda director wasn't nominated.
Interesting. And the Oscars are this weekend. Who is hosting this charade, or are they still doing?
There are 3 actresses hosting it, and I don't remember exactly who it is.
Because there's usually lately there's been very controversial and political decisions made when it comes to this.
Some of the stuff they're doing this year is stupid. They're like Tony Hawk and Shaun White are going to be presenters. Like, they are really just grasping at straws to try to get viewers.
Well, and the thing that they did that is really controversial, I believe, in the movie industry, is to save time, they have moved a handful of the awards to a pre-awards ceremony, including editing, which is probably the most important thing in making a movie after direction. Mm-hmm. And they moved editing, they moved the short films,
score,
a couple others, and that has been very understandably controversial, and in my view anyway.
Yeah. Well, that'll be this weekend, and now we need another film.
I was going to say, do you got one for us?
I've got your hosts, Amy Schumer, Regina Hall, and Wanda Sykes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Cool.
Well, that'll be interesting.
If they let Wanda go, it'll be hilarious.
But they won't, because they don't want to. I did notice while I was perusing my Paramount Plus, because I was streaming the basketball game while I was watching the movie, that Jackass Forever is now Paramount Plus.
Amazing.
So I thought we'd go to the other end of the spectrum.
I love it.
It is the other end of the spectrum, I'll tell you that.
If we're going to continue with the theme of, new Oscar-nominated films, I think Jackass Forever should be on. It's streaming on Paramount Plus.
Perfect.
I can't wait.
You look excited.
I am excited, honestly.
I'm excited too. Yeah,
neither have I. I love the Jackass movies.
Having seen it, if you like the other ones, you'll like this one.
Well, good. That's the thing. I haven't watched a Jackass movie since I was a teenager, and I just haven't gone back to them. So I don't know how I'm going to take this anymore.
I think the third one I watched in college, and so that's been it for me for a while.
Yeah, I haven't seen one in a while.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I would try something different. Yeah, we're so used to on this program appealing to those with a higher taste.
Yeah,
that we need to hit back the lowest common denominator.
The common fan.
Yeah,
we're all common fans at
heart too. Yeah. All right, Kent. Well, appreciate the time. Thanks, and we'll talk to you next week.
Sounds great. See you next week.
There he is, Kent Waldemont of the Lincoln Journal-Star. Coming up, got to get a quick predictions in.
Yep.
And then bet of the day.
Yep.
And we wrap up the week. Remember, it is One Beer Friday presented by 1620 The Beer. Available right now. Fernando 75th and Pacific and the Crescent Moon on Farnham.
Zone, taste of our takes. Sharpen betting in the morning.
Ed Service, head baseball coach at Creighton, joins us.
One of my favorite coaches in the state, Coach Service. And on my bingo card, you bring up Ty Block, the resident Dodger killer. As a Dodger fan,
well, he could get hits off Clayton Kershaw. He would come back and remind me during alumni weekend, say, Coach, I got 2 hits off Clayton Kershaw.
For more, tune in every day to 1620 AM or go to 1620thezone.com.
Do you want the best for your car? Then fill up with premium at Circle K. Circle K Premium is our best fuel with double the cleaning detergent, protecting your engine from corrosion and damage so it can work at its best. And that, my friend, increases your mileage for more cha-ching in your pocket. Plus, when you fill up with premium at Circle K, you can save up to 20 cents per gallon. Offer valid Thursdays or Fridays at participating stores. For details, visit CircleK.com. Circle K. How convenient.
Are you or someone you know in the construction industry? Have you hit a dead end? Or do you need a new opportunity? You work hard. You want to be treated fairly and paid well. Well, maybe it's time you join a premier, high-quality Omaha construction firm. Prairie Construction of Omaha has 2 sought-after positions available, Field Superintendent and Project Manager. Prairie Construction might be just right for you. Learn more about us at our website, prairie-construction.com.
Great news from Rocket Mortgage. You could unlock more cash than you realize from your home's equity with a cash-out refinance today. In fact, in the last year, average home values have gone up nearly 20%. That means you could unlock thousands of dollars. And with Rocket Mortgage, you could unlock all that cash in less than 3 weeks. But you've got to act right now before rates go up, because nobody knows how long these low rates will last. Put your hard-earned money to work. Make your life better. Build a home office, remodel your kitchen, or simply save that cash for a rainy day. Today's rate on a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.25%, 3.48% APR, so you can lock in a great low monthly payment. When you're looking to unlock the cash in your home, Rocket can. Call 833-8-ROCKET today or go to rocketmortgage.com to get started. That's 833-8-ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com.
Rates current as of 12/12/21. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states. MLS ConsumerAccess.org number 3030. Call 800-490-1233 for disclosures and cost information.
The lowest rates of the year at Genesis Health Clubs right now to get us all ready for summer. Hi, I'm Rodney Stephen, owner of Genesis Health Clubs. Summer is literally right around the corner, and there's no better time than the present. Right now at Genesis Health Clubs, we're offering the lowest rates of the year so you can get started toward your fitness goals, because this summer is yours. Even better, we're waiving enrollment fees and taking $18 off a month for you to start now. But it won't last long. This offer expires at the end of the month, and it will not be extended. This is your last chance to get the lowest rates of the year with no enrollment fee. Hurry, just 6 days left. This summer is for you. The benefits of regular exercise are endless. Look better, feel better, have more energy. Are you worth it? Yes. We only get one body. Nothing is more important than our health. The lowest race of the year with no enrollment fee. 6 days left. Join online at GenesisHealthClubs.com before the lowest race of the year are gone forever. Hurry, just 6 days left. Act today. This offer will not be extended.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Hi guys, it's Andrew with Brookside Medical Clinic. Are you struggling with erectile dysfunction and sick of the pills? Well, we have a major medical advancement that has helped thousands of men. The WAVE technology at Brookside Medical was tested by Cambridge University and the Cleveland Clinic, and the results are in. It's proven to increase blood flow by repairing blood vessels. No pills and no side effects. If you're ready to put a stop to your ED by treating the root cause, call us now, and not only will the assessment and blood flow ultrasound be free, we'll also include something unique that produces immediate results in the bedroom. This is a $600 value, free to those that call in the next 2 minutes. 402-671-7777. That's 402-671-7777. Guys, put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and get your love life back. Call Brookside Medical Clinic now to qualify. 402-671-7777.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct is brought to you by Union Bank and Trust. Now back to the program.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for predictions.
Under, bet the under. Vikings and the under.
All right, it's been 3 weeks since we've done this. To recap, of course, I'm leading. Josh is way back, and Nick is even way back.
This is rigged.
Yeah, stop the steal.
Still the reigning world champion.
Bamboo in these
Tonight,
predictions.
St. Peter's plus 13 against Purdue. Don't overthink this. Purdue.
Same. Purdue. That was easy.
Providence plus 7.5 against Kansas.
People keep doubting Providence. At least that's what Ed Cooley is saying. I'll say that they get another cover. They do not win, though.
I want the Friars.
Wow, it's a sweep for Providence.
The Big East boys.
North Carolina plus 2 against UCLA.
UCLA. UCLA.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah. Wow. We're just.
Oh, boy. This is
way too much agreeing.
Way too much agreeing. Let's see if we can get disagreement on Iowa State, Miami. Iowa State plus 3.
Miami.
Clones.
All right. So we disagreed. Iowa State, if Chucky Hepburn doesn't go down, Iowa State's not even playing in this game.
Right, but Miami's also a double-digit seed that got here, you know.
I know.
Elite 8 tomorrow. You've got Houston minus 2 versus Villanova.
I don't like this line. Houston. They're good.
Houston is good. They are now the favorites on KenPom.
I want Nova.
Wow.
I want Nova.
I want Nova too. Arkansas plus 4 versus Duke. I'll steal a point here from Josh. Of course, it's going to be Duke.
No, I agree.
You're not gonna bet on, with your heart.
I'm not gonna go against Coach K.
I thought Tech was gonna win. I really did.
3-game series starting tonight. Nebraska, Michigan, best of 3. Who do you like? I'm going Michigan, 2-1.
Michigan 2-1.
Wow, we are agreeing way too much tonight. Way too much.
Well, you could pick Michigan in a sweep.
I could. I'm not going to do that, though. I'm not that big.
Or Nebraska, 2-1. Wichita State hosting Creighton, 3-game series starting tonight.
Creighton 2-1.
Creighton.
The same? Jeez.
What the hell's going on here?
No one's
what's
going to beat
happening.
anybody. All right. Well, let's get some differential here. They're racing in
Coda.
Texas.
Circuit of the Americas.
The Echo Park Grand Prix. I'll take Chase, I'll take Kyle Larson, and I'll take Kyle Busch.
Allmendinger, Bell, Almirola.
Elliott, Trucks, Busch. Kyle Busch. I don't know if there's another Busch still.
Yes, there's both Bushes. What did you say? Say that again.
Oh, Elliott, Trucks, Kyle Busch. That's Marty Trucks, John.
Yes, I know.
That's Marty Trucks.
I know.
Marty Trucks.
The Saudi Blood Money Grand Prix, where apparently they're
Not
shooting,
what it's called.
they're shooting missiles into the track.
A missile allegedly, John.
Nick, what the hell?
Well, I mean, something
Now,
did blow up.
The Middle East, not a great place right
Okay,
now.
real. I know we're up against it, but are the favorite drivers actually driving in this thing?
We don't know. So they've been in a driver's meeting for the last 2 hours.
They're going to do it. Give me the top three favorites.
And they are?
Verstappen,
Leclerc.
Saints. The New Orleans Saints.
No, Carlos Sainz.
New Orleans.
Verstappen, Leclerc,
and Saints. Nolans.
I'll take Verstappen, Saints, and Sir Louis.
Louis Oosthuizen.
Yeah, you can't not take Sir Louis.
Give me Verstappen, Gasly, and Sonoda. Guess who was watching practice today?
And who?
Sonoda. Yuki Sonoda.
Noda.
TSUNODA.
World Cup qualifier. United States versus Panama.
Give me America. They
Panama.
cover. They get off the mat after the draw. They get a 2-0 win or 3-1 or 4-2. It's one of those.
I'm taking a push.
Nice.
Push. I want Panama.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, finally, we get some differences here. Tonight, you can hear the game on 1180 The Zone. The
No matter
late
where you
game,
listen, it's still The
Creighton,
Zone.
Iowa State, Jays plus 5.5. Of course, I can't pick against my ladies. The wrong team is favored. Creighton on the money line.
I'm going to go with Creighton to cover.
I don't want to, but I feel like I have to. Give me Iowa State.
You monster.
Wow.
Yeah, well.
Which Blue Jay leads the team in scoring?
Morgan Molly.
You stole mine.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay. Good research there.
And combined made 3-point field goals. These are two of the best 3-point shooting teams in the country. Over under 19.5.
Over.
For sure the over.
Wow. Man, way too much agreeing.
That was a
Good
lot.
thing we breezed through this segment.
Yep.
Because there was no disagreement whatsoever. Bet of the day is next. We wrap up the week on 1620 The Zone.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
Email Unsportsmanlike conduct on the Equitable Bank Zone inbox with whatever is on your mind, from your hot takes to what you think is one. The Zone inbox is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. We want to hear from you on the Equitable Bank Zone inbox.
Excuse me, Carol?
Hey, Dale. You finished that report I asked for?
Oh, yeah, about that. I didn't get a chance to do it.
No worries. You've been so busy.
Really?
Of course. Dale, you're our hardest worker. You should take an extra week of vacation.
Are you firing me?
No, I promise. Just giving you the break you deserve.
Wow. Thanks, boss. You sure you're not firing me?
Actually, I'm going to promote you. But first, take a week off on the company's dime.
Sometimes things just get better. Like AT&T. We've invested more than $150 million to grow our wireless network coverage to over 99% of Nebraska. So you can talk, text, and share in more places than ever. Visit att.com/Nebraska and learn how to get a free smartphone when you switch to AT&T. Coverage not available everywhere. Over 99% coverage based on third-party data. Network investments based on 2018 through 2020 expenditure.
Hey everyone, Josh and John here for the FanDuel Sportsbook. Protect yourself against upsets throughout the rest of March with the bracket parlay insurance on the FanDuel Sportsbook. Right now, all customers get up to $25 back each and every day if your parlay of 3 legs or more falls just 1 leg short. John, I am feeling it for all of the friends of the program out there who were relying on Kentucky. All they had to do was win in the first round. Oh my gosh, they could have won their parlays. If they didn't have parlay insurance, well, they're out of money.
Well, parlays are great, Josh, because you can turn small bets into big paydays. And now with cash out, the ball's in your court. So close out your bet whenever you want before the game is over. And if you're new to FanDuel, just sign up with promo code 1620 and bet the tournament all tournament long. That's promo code 1620 on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. 21 plus in President Iowa. If exactly 1 leg loses, refund issued as non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 7 days. NCAA tournament sportsbook wager required. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
You've got a hungry mob? Well, I've got an offer you can't refuse. Get a large one-topping pizza for only $14 when you buy 2. That's right. All the favorites. Beef, sausage, ham, or pepperoni. Just 2 for $28. You like veggies? You can do that too. Mushrooms, onions, green peppers, pick your favorite. Just 2 for $28. But I'm only offering it for a limited time. So what are you waiting for? Godfather's Pizza. Do it.
Something happens when we can't be our true selves. You can hear it in our laughs. There's the half-hearted chuckle. The courtesy conference caller.
Yeah, great.
And of course, the I'm only laughing because I'm dating your daughter.
Oh, that's so true.
If you want to laugh for real, try having some Miller Lite with some friends. It works. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2021 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin beer.
Rebuild or reload.
Nemard sprints into the front court, lobs it up, and it goes in!
Settle or soar.
And Alex O'Connell forces a second overtime.
Fold or fight.
Here's Trey, a run to the rim, goes in, and one!
The future arrived. The Creighton Blue Jays
Have never quit on you!
let it fly.
Jays win! Jays win! Jays win!
Shop Lanahaw Nurseries for all your mulch needs. Best quality mulch at the best price. You'll notice our prices are lower than anybody else's. That's because you're buying your mulch straight from where it's made. Convenient delivery or pickup. Lanahaw Nurseries, 192nd and Center.
At Baker's, fresh groceries are our thing, so we check your delivery order for freshness at every step from farm to store and pick and pack every veggie in your free pickup order with care, because we treat your food the way we'd want ours to be treated. We're fresh every day, so shop anyway. Baker's, fresh for everyone. Free pickup on orders of $35 or more. Restrictions may apply.
And now you'll find more ways to save on your favorites. When you download digital coupons, you can use up to 5 times in one transaction. Baker's, fresh for everyone.
Salty meat is good.
I do love salty meat.
This is unsportsmanlike conduct on 1620 The Zone.
All right, we all lost yesterday in bet of the day. It was a bad one. Gonzaga screwed John. Gonzaga screwed me and Nick. Also, a couple other teams screwed me and Nick. I'm going to go with the 3-teamer tonight. Kansas, money line. UCLA, money line. Miami, money line, plus 259.
I'm going to take Providence plus 7 and Iowa State plus 3, plus 258.
I'm going to do something dumb.
Okay.
Give me Pierre Gasly to win Formula One.
Nick, you idiot.
Listen, the Honda car looks good. It looks good. They look good.
Are we sure that the event's even going to happen?
The event's going to happen, and we don't know if the drivers are going to be in it, though. That's the issue.
That's cool. Formula One without any drivers.
Well, there's backup drivers.
What a new idea.
What made you pick this dude?
He looks really good. The whole team looks very strong.
Did he get
a good spring practice.
Get a fresh oil change and a tire rotation?
Yeah.
His brakes. He put in new brakes that
New
are like,
brakes?
ooh, they stop.
Ooh, and he ordered satellite radio. He can listen to his favorite satellite shows.
Baskins